Oh, whoops. Yaha. Thank you for coming. Welcome, welcome. Isn't this a nice nice locale? Don't you love this place we've walked out to? Set up a little picnic. Little picnic consisting of nothing. But yaha, yaha. Jump scared. Oh, does the animation jump scare you? I hope it's not too much of a surprise. I like it. I'm very happy with it. Pizza rolls. That doesn't make for a very good picnic food, but it sounds good. What are you having? What's your meal looking like? What are you or wait here. What does your next meal look like? Tell me about it. Tell me. Let me know. What are you gonna have next? As for me, I do have some cookies here, but I don't have any proper food. But I thought tea might go well with cookies, so I have these little how do I describe this kind of cookie? It's chocolate chip, but not really. It's the kind of chocolate chip cookie that has almost like the little, you know, the type of candy that's like M&Ms, where it's like chocolate, but it's coated in a little thing, like a sugar coating thing. It's like that, but inside the cookies. But they're not actually M&Ms, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've got those cookies. They're very small, and they come in a little plastic tray. I did not make these cookies. I purchased them, unfortunately. I need to make the time to properly make cookies in the oven sometime, but I always burn them if it's cookies. I'm really bad at anything in the oven. Is it colorful? Yeah, they've got little like rainbow colors on each one. Can you bake? No. I'm the worst at baking. I always forget. I set every alarm. I'll set an alarm and then I'll set 2 reminder alarms to go check on it, and I still manage to burn it every single time because I forget it's there. I'm only really good at cooking things that keep me there the whole time. Like that I cannot walk away from the kitchen to get it done, you know what I mean? I just get very, very easily distracted. I've got a very narrow focus, so I can only really think about whatever is right in front of me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've always been the worst at multitasking. I've tried to improve, especially, I'm sure you can imagine it's kind of a valuable skill to have in this line of work, but I still got a long way to go. I'll teach you. I'm a bakery student. I don't know if this is something I can learn. I don't know if this skill can be taught. I think it's just the way I am. You know what I mean? I think I'm just gonna be this way forever, and I think I'm content with it because I've got skills elsewhere. At least you can make French toast. I can make French toast. I can make French toast. That's one of my best ones. Yeah. I see you listen to the morning voice. ですか。綺麗ですね。綺麗ですね。あ、ここ綺麗ですね。確かに綺麗ですね。綺麗。綺麗でしょ。I made French toast because of it. I see. I hope you can enjoy it. I really, really love French toast. That was one of my breakfast standards for a while. I used to make a lot of it for myself. I almost made it last night after the Among Us collab because I was so stressed out. I needed something sweet, but I decided to do pancakes instead in the end. You're very kirei. I thought we were talking about this place that we're in. What do you mean you, huh? Huh? Run that one back. Yeah, I really French toast isn't baked, so what do you mean? No, that's the thing. I'm really good at making French toast because it's not baked. You see what I mean? I cannot bake things. I can only make things in frying pans. That's where I'm strong because I don't leave the frying pan. You know, it's in front of me the entire time. You did good in the collab. Thank you. Thank you. I was so to be clear, I was having so much fun. It was a really, really fun time. I don't want you to think that I don't want you to worry or think that I was going through it or anything. I was going through it, but I don't want you to think that I felt pressured or like I wasn't having fun. I was having so much fun. I just really, really, really suck at those situations, and I suck at keeping cool. I guess I did a pretty good job at convincing my senpai that I was cool, but I don't think I don't know. That was a bit much for Elmo. It was really funny though. It was really refreshing, and it made me feel so much more at ease after the collab was over to like scroll through Twitter for a while and see everybody else's POVs get clipped and just see that, like, while I was going through it, I was having a cow, you know, I was throwing everything and freaking out, and they were all just chilling. They're just vibing. They're just like, okay, I guess I'll do this. And I'm like, oh, does he know about the bingo? I found out about that after. You can be so goofy with the way you twist my words, taint them with your dark language. Yeah, I saw that. I saw you making a bingo card of the things you thought I was gonna say during the collab. What the heck? I can't decide if I I can't decide if I feel honored or insulted. Nah, I'm just kidding. I think it's very sweet. Please do not worry. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, seeing bingo cards as I scrolled through. Oh, I also got to apologize. My hands were still shaking a little bit after the collab was over, and I accidentally liked a couple of untagged tweets as I was scrolling. So I hope I didn't scare anybody with that. I try to, if I encounter a tweet that isn't tagged, as a matter of courtesy, I try not to like it, but I did it by accident a couple times. The F word is crazy. I know. I was going through it. I think the F word can slip out every now and then. I don't like to curse, but I don't mind if it slips out. I think the thing I actually regret was dropping the unalive comment. I don't like to say things like that, and I don't know why I said it in the moment. I was just really, that's how you know how bad it was. Like, it was bad. It was bad. I was so stressed out. It was funny. I'm glad you think so, but I don't know. For me, I don't think comments like that are very funny, and I don't like to make them. I tried to start phasing them out a few years ago, and I've been mostly successful, but in high stakes situations, it slips out sometimes. So I'm sorry about that. If that was like if that was uncomfortable for anybody to hear from me. I don't know. Yeah, no, I just don't like things like that. I don't like saying things like that, so I prefer not to. So I hope it doesn't slip out again in the future. How's your beef with Aya? Please do not worry. It was contained in the vacuum of that game, and now we're cool. And as I mentioned during the game, it was one-sided. I don't think it was even one-sided. I don't think either of us had actual beef. I was just playing along, and I think she was just playing up a shtick. You know how she does, right? And I messaged her afterwards with a pair of clips of the one time I killed her when she was in the one area that's to the west of the map, the leftmost part. When I was freaking out and crashing out, I was like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. Kill Aya. I sent her that, and then I sent her the clip of her just like doing her death metal scream in response to it without knowing what I was going through. And we both laughed over that for a bit. It was really funny. Kill Aya. I don't know. I had to figure something out. I had to do something. I was the only imposter left, and I had already fumbled the bag earlier, if you remember, because Wilson Senpai, he set up the perfect double kill for me to take out Vanta, and I just completely choked up. I didn't know what to do, and then I let him get away, and then I self-reported when it wasn't even me that killed. And that sent him to the gallows. They kicked him out instead of me. I sent him to die. I had to make up for it, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I mentioned it before, but I think the biggest thing about that game that stresses me out is just the juxtaposition of two equally stressful things for me, social stresses. And that is like, on one hand, it's the stress of like upsetting other people by doing the thing you're supposed to do, right? Playing the game, but encroaching on their ability to now play the game. And then there's the other really big thing of disappointing people that you are working with on like towards a cause, you know? I hate to hold people back. It hurts so bad to hold people back due to your own weaknesses. So I don't know. Anytime I was an imposter, I felt like I had to try 10 times harder. Since it was not just me, you know? If it was only me as imposter, things might have been a little different. I might have actually gotten exposed before the game could finish. But I don't know, playing with two others on the team with me, it feels like if I mess up, it messes things up for them, you know? So I did the best that I could. I hope that I hope that they were not too disappointed anytime I made mistakes. I'm sure they weren't. It's all fun and games, right? It's literally just Among Us, the video game. Yeah, 3 imposters in a row too. 3 imposters in a row. I don't know. I think I'm doomed to suffer things like this. The universe, I don't like to believe in fatalism or karma or anything like that, but there are events sometimes that really just make me wonder, you know? How many perfect games in blackjack can you get in a row before you start to think that it's fate? Yeah, I also have a habit of jinxing things, because I did literally say, like, my dream scenario is one where I never play imposter ever again for the rest of my life. Lo and behold, 4 out of 10 games. That's that is a 4 out of 5, or no, not 4 out of 5. That's 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5, or wait, hold on. 4, 2, 10, 5. 2 out of 5. Yeah, 2 out of 5 ratio of imposter to crewmate with a full lobby every single time. Isn't that bananas? What are the odds of that? Somebody do that math for me. What is the exact percentage? What is the word? Computation? Combination? I don't remember which one's which. Statistical probability that that would have happened in that specific chain. Isn't that crazy? Bananas. 40% no, but like to get it that many times in a row, right? What is that? What is the odds of that happening? 0%. That's what I'm talking about. The universe is flipping everything against me. The world hates Kaelix. Yeah, real math. Yeah, real math. Not simply the amount of times it happened, right? But the probability that it would have happened in that number of like in that chain. That's a different kind of math, and it gets a much smaller percentage. I don't remember if that's computations or combinations though. It's been so long for me. 0.064. Okay, that's closer to what I was thinking, right? Less than 1% for it to happen that many times in a row. Oh my goodness. 0.8. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. 3 times in a row is 0.8%. Isn't that bananas? Is that not bananas for me to get that? Isn't that crazy? And yet, when I pull out the gacha, I cannot get a single 5-star. This is why I don't touch gacha. The universe only gives me rare probabilities when it goes against what I want to happen. Time to buy a lottery ticket? Nope. Nope. No lottery for me. No lotteries for Kaelix. I'm not allowed. As a strict rule that I've imposed upon myself. No gachas, no lotteries, no gambling. Unless it's in a video game and doesn't use real currency. I'll gamble fictional currency forever. As long as that fictional currency does not have any conversion with real currency. Like if it's in a game where you can buy it with real money, I can't do it. That's my rule. That's my hard and fast rule. Otherwise, I'm gonna get in trouble. Because I don't know. I almost get addicted to the rush of losing when it's in situations like that. It's really scary. I don't like that part of myself. I guess you do attract what you speak into existence. Yeah, you manifest things. I mentioned it before. I'm a bit of a... to be clear, I have total respect for people that believe in these things, but I'm a bit of a skeptic when it comes to things like manifestation or the universe. I think you make things happen, but in a more literal way. But again, sometimes there is an event that really makes me look at it and scratch my head like, You know what I mean? Addicted to losing. It's more like I'm addicted to almost losing. Does that make sense? Like rather, I've explained this before and I always raise eyebrows with it, but it's fun to win. I love to win. But you know what's really fun? To narrowly win. To almost lose. Oh, it's so good. It feels so great. It's so exciting. It's like a rush. Yeah, Mario Kart is a prime example, right? To pull in the very last second a jump from like 5th place all the way to 2nd or 1st. I'm addicted to that. There's something in that. I can't like being the guy digging in the tunnel. Yes. Did you know that 9 out of 10 gamblers quit right before they hit the jackpot? That's not true. That's not true. It's a meme. Don't believe me. That's a very dangerous mindset to have. I don't advocate for that. However, it is my mindset. Oopsie. I don't know. It just feels really good. It feels really good to have everything stacked against you and to still come out on top. I love that. And it also, there's something really exciting about being powerless in determining your victory, right? In a game of chance rather than a game of strategy. Like where everybody is equals. I just love that. It feels good. Yeah, I'm addicted to the thrill. I'm just in it for the love of the game. You like underdogs? I do like underdogs, but I think that's separate from what I mean here. I think here it's more about the feeling. But with underdogs, I do love an underdog. I always root for the underdog. I love an underdog. My perfect victory. Wait, what does he say? He's like, no, I can't laugh yet. I gotta hold it in. They're all gonna die. I love Death Note. Did you catch Frio's Death Note moment near the end of the collab, by the way? I feel like not enough people responded to that when it happened. He was like, Boku wa kirata. It was really good. He does it a lot sometimes. I say a lot sometimes, but he's done that multiple times, you know? Like 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's crazy that it happened more than once. You know what I mean? We reference that a lot. I don't know how many times we've done it on stream. That's where it gets harder for me to keep up with, right? Because me and By the Beat, we hang out a lot off stream. So sometimes it's difficult for me to remember what we've actually joked about with a witness, you know, with the third party there hanging out with us. So I apologize if I ever reference something that falls on deaf ears. You know what I mean? Yeah, all according to Keikaku. Translator's note, Keikaku means plan. Sable's line during Portal 2, that was a good one where he's like, like, you dare to shoot at us? Bakayaro. That was so cool. That was so cool. I think it hits extra hard when Sable pulls out a deeper voice because he usually has a much lighter voice. You know what I mean? Or not vice versa, but likewise, when he pulls out like a more handsome voice where he like throws on all the charm. Oh yeah, I gotta address, I don't want you to worry about me. I tweeted something early this morning. It was a series of face palming emojis. And it appears that the implication of that was me dooming over my sleep schedule. Which it was a true state of mind. I am dooming over my sleep schedule lately. And I'm really struggling to work up the motivation to fix it because I have so much fun late at night. But that is not the implication of the tweet. Or at least not the intended implication of the tweet. The facepalm emoji has 2 meanings. One of them is to express frustration or disappointment. Like, you know, slapping your head. The other one is actually burying your face in your hands. And the reason I tweeted it is because Sable said something very handsome on his stream that was happening at that moment. That was my way of dealing with it without causing a scene in his chat. My wave mates are so cool. They're so cool. Yeah, just full disclosure. I ordinarily would just let something like that just be what it is, but I don't want you to worry about me. Yeah, I prefer not to. I prefer not to doom on the TL. Yeah, no, that was me burying my face in my hands. You're so wet for them. I don't know. I just love them. I think they're all so cool, and they're all so silly and so nice to me. I have so much fun with these guys. Genuinely, I would not replace a single one of them with anybody in the world. What tea you have today? I forgot to mention, I'm having ginger today, but it's not the one that I recommended. Because you may know, I've recently recommended a specific brand that I like. I chose to recommend that one for a number of reasons. For one, it's the one I've been drinking a lot of lately. But for 2, I thought it might be the easiest for people that aren't as accustomed to ginger to drink, because the ginger isn't as strong in this one as the other ginger brands that I use. It's very neutral, and it's also a mix of ginger, licorice, cinnamon, cardamom, like other stuff. So I thought it would be the most appealing to someone who's less initiated. What was the brand? What is it called? Celestial Seasonings, I think, is the brand, and then the flavor is Fireside Spice or something like that. I always forget the name. I wrote it down at one point and I lost it. I still haven't found out where I wrote it down, by the way. I made a note of it so that I could pull it up on stream and show it to you, but I've forgotten. And I can't find it anymore. What's a ginger tea that you like? See, this is where I really suck. I'm really struggling to remember brands. I always, like, I can see the boxes in my head, but I can't remember the letters. And also with the other ginger brands, it's more like I have like 2 or 3 of them that I drink from. I'll tell you what, I'll try some more because I'm still experimenting a bunch. But the stronger ginger teas, it's like, I like the taste, but for those, it's more about the vocal recovery and vocal maintenance for me than the taste. And I figure, I don't know, I almost hesitate to recommend something really strong. You know what I mean? Because I've noticed, and this makes me really happy, but it also makes me aware of the power. You know, I don't want to be too dangerous with it, but I've noticed that sometimes if I'll mention a brand that I like or a thing that I like, people will try it and send it to my general tag to show that they tried it. Because I do check my tags, just so you know. I try to, even if I don't like everything on my tags, I always check them. I make a habit of it. And I don't want to, you know, I don't want to encourage anybody to try something that might be a bit too strong. Could boil fresh ginger too. That's honestly the best way. And I've really thought about that. Like seeing if I can find any locally sourced. It's a bit tough. When I checked in the grocery store, I could not actually find ginger like that. But I may alternatively be able to find like a processed ginger that I can use. It's always inferior in quality, but it's more accessible to me right now. Yeah, I don't want to, I don't know, I don't want to encourage people to try anything that might be a bit too much. So I'll work you up to it maybe if you're less familiar. Though I'm also very thankful to see that there are a lot of people among debonhairs who are very familiar with tea, much more so than me. Like 1 billion times more familiar than me, because I'm honestly, I call myself a tea snob, but I'm more like a faux tea snob. I'm a pseudo tea snob. I'm a fraud. I'm a scammer. Because I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot, and I still mostly just drink from bagged tea instead of free leaf tea. So I appreciate, like, whenever I'm setting up the chat as the stream is about to start, I'll sometimes notice people giving really well-rounded recommendations. Tea poser is crazy. That's so crazy because it sounds like tea posing. I'm a tea poser. Loose leaf tea is amazing. I have had loose leaf tea. It is very, very good. It's a bit more effort than I'm usually willing or able to invest, especially before things like streams or in the middle of work. Because that's often when I drink my tea. It's never, as much as I'd love to just sit down and have tea and just bask in the joy of tea by itself, I find that I'm very prone to just having it while I'm trying to do something else. You know, that's the limit of my multitasking. So I really love the convenience of just boiling the kettle, getting boiling water in the kettle, and then pouring it over a tea bag. It feels nice. Lemon ginger, that's a really popular one for ginger. Lemon ginger or honey lemon ginger. Fruity teas. I don't know. I find that fruity teas are really nice, like fruit and berry ones. I've tried quite a few of those. I actually got a sampler pack not too long ago of like, it had blueberry and cherry and raspberry. And I like them, but I don't like them as tea. Does that make sense? It feels more like I'm drinking hot fruit juice. It doesn't taste as much like tea to me. I find that that's one of my less... I say least favorite, but that doesn't mean I dislike it. You know what I mean? But I find that it's one of my least favorite teas next to... I'm not a humongous fan of floral teas as well. Floral teas can be good and very relaxing, but I find that the taste is a bit pointy for me. It's a very like it almost tastes more like a chemical than a tea sometimes. But it is very relaxing. It is very relaxing, and it has a very nice feel. Yeah, I really prefer herbal and leaf teas, personally. Those are my favorites. I like herbal and leaf teas, especially herbal teas. Aromatic teas like jasmine. I have not had jasmine yet. That's an essential that I need to try. Chamomile. That's honestly what I'm thinking about when I talk about floral teas. I like chamomile, but I dislike it compared to others. Does that make sense? All right. Next to others, I do not like it as much, is the best way to put it. Chamomile is in that category of floral tea that is very like pointy to me. It's like I like the taste and I like the experience of drinking it, but I do not like it as much. Have you had chai? I've only had proper chai once. Otherwise, I've just had like chai flavored things. But I really, really, really loved the proper chai that I had, you know, made correctly in a pot. It was so good. So good. I want to get into making it more often. It just, like I said, it's too much effort for Elmo. Matcha. Same with chai. I haven't had it. I've never had matcha properly. But I've had matcha flavored things a lot, and I really like matcha flavor, but a lot of the time that's not the same. Eucalyptus tea? Oh, I've never had that one. It's interesting. How does eucalyptus tea work? I thought eucalyptus was poisonous to everything, including koalas. Do you agree that water has different tastes? Yes, it does. But you likely won't notice that water has different flavors unless you drink mostly water. Because when I was younger, when I was younger, I still drank soda even. I can't stand soda now that it's been long enough without it, but I used to drink everything. And I used to really love sugary and sweet stuff in my beverages, but for a long time I drank nothing but water. And I only started noticing then that like different brands had different flavors, or if I got it from a filtered like a filtered dispenser on a fridge, it would taste differently than if I got it from a sink, things like that. And there is like a hierarchy, and the difference in pH is actually palpable. Like you can taste the difference if you drink a lot of it. We know you visited Japan. Did you go to Uji? I did not get to go much of anywhere. I went to me and the boys went to Shibuya on the first day, I think. And I think we also went to Ikebukuro, but we did not go anywhere else, or at least the rest of them went elsewhere. I didn't get to go anywhere else because I felt ill. And I didn't get to go to many like places, or what is the word I'm looking for? I didn't get to go to many like restaurants or establishments or anything like that. Most of what I ate and drank was Konbini stuff in the confines of my hotel room. Ever drink southern sweet tea? That might kill you by the sugar content. I actually used to love it. I used to drink it a lot. Because that's honestly the standard for making it where I live, is to make like a standard green tea, like leaf tea, and then while it's still boiling hot, pour in a ton of sugar, and then you refrigerate it with ice, and then you just serve it over the next few days. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking of in about like a moment or two ago, when I was saying that when I was younger, I used to really like sweeter stuff. It's not just soda. I used to really love sweet tea as well. What's your favorite Konbini food? There was a really funny moment actually. I did not try very many, but it was a 7-Eleven that was nearby. Because when you're in Tokyo, there's either a 7-Eleven or a Famima everywhere. Like every corner has one or the other, or both of them even. But a 7-Eleven was closest at the time, and I remember the first day when we finished everything, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy a bunch of their BLT sandwiches and stock my fridge with it, so I just have a fridge full of food. And they were like, Kaelix, why would you do that? Just go and get a fresh one every day if you want to have that every day. And I was like, but what if something bad happens and all of the 7-Elevens go on a collective strike specifically to prevent Kaelix from getting his BLT sandwich? And obviously that didn't happen. However, something did end up happening that prevented me from going to the store to get my sandwich. It was the funniest. I jinxed it again. I speak things into existence with my words. I'm like abracadabra abra una na with my tongue. Yeah, I was joking about them going on a collective strike to keep me out, but it was actually me that was going on strike in the end. Yeah, I really did love because I tried a few things. I tried some of their sandwiches. I tried some of the like instant soups. But I really loved the pre-made and wrapped BLT sandwiches. Bacon, lettuce, tomato. It was really good. That's what that stands for, right? Bacon, lettuce, tomato, BLT. But I like they had some really good egg sandwiches as well. Yeah, it was really good. Wait, because when I stayed in Japan this one time, the 7-Eleven nearby me actually closed down after a day of me going. See, it's kind of real. It could happen. I was so reasonable for that. But like I said, even then, even if that 7-Eleven decided to close down and keep me from getting my sandwich, I could have just walked a little bit further because there was a Famima not far away either. Like there's a 7-Eleven and a Femima within walking distance of every single point in Tokyo. Also, hi Yuki Senpai, thank you for stopping by. I hope you're having a wonderful day. What have you been up to? What does your day look like so far, or for the rest of your day? I'm curious. Murphy's Law. Yeah, right. What are the chances of that? It's the most evil timing ever. It could happen to anybody. It could happen to anybody. Yeah, no, it was just a really funny thing because they all, and it wasn't even just the boys. I think we were with staff at the time too when I made that joke about how I was stocking up on sandwiches for my fridge so that I, you know, just in case all the 7-Elevens closed. It was not just By the Beat that laughed at me. It was like our manager and like some other staff that were laughing at me. They're like, Kaelix, that's so silly. You can just walk to the 7-Eleven every day. It's not that far. Just get another one. And then I was right, but in the wrong way. Blowing my nose. Ah, here's a tissue. There you go. Honestly, me too. Standing out here, sitting outside like this, all these flowers falling down everywhere. It's like targeting my nose. I don't know if you can if you can relate, Uki Senpai, but I don't know. I get the worst seasonal allergies ever. So this time of year, I'm just constantly like. Yeah, team allergy. Keep smiling. I always forget my bad days. Yeah, I like to look on the optimistic side of things in any situation, because you know, even if it was really unfortunate that I got sick when I did in Japan, I wouldn't have changed the way that the trip went. Because being sick and being cared for by my new friends, it was very nice, and it made me feel closer to them in a way. So, I think it went exactly the way it should have, and I have no complaints. Except I'd also like to plan a revenge trip immediately. Did you vote in the Sanrio character poll? Yes, I did, and my boy won. Oh, I could also clarify. I've seen a lot of people asking if Pom Pom Pudding is my #1 favorite. I think of all the really big and popular ones, Pom Pom Pudding is my favorite for sure. Like of the standards, right? Thinking of like Cinnamoroll, Kitty herself. What are the other ones? You know, all the big guys. Pom Pom Pudding is my #1. However, when it comes to extended Sanrio, like all the mascots, all the characters, I think my favorite is actually Monkichi. I love Monkichi. I love Monkichi's little family. I love all the little variations of Monkichi, but you do not see Monkichi as often. Yeah, I love Monkichi. I love I don't know. I think the design is very, very cute. There was another monkey mascot that Sanrio did as well. I can't remember, but it was a lot more like it was more cutesy and feminine, if you know what I mean. I think it might have been pink. I don't remember the name, or if it was even Sanrio, and I'm just misremembering. But I think there was another one that I thought was really, really cute. Chichai Mon-chan, yes, that's what it was. Chichai Mon-chan datta. Thank you so much. Yeah, I like Chichai Mon-chan as well. I think Chichai Mon-chan is best for like looping patterns on a fabric. You know what I mean? I think Chichai Mon-chan is really cute as well. Let's all pretend to be surprised. Yeah. Surprising nobody. But I did see people that were legitimately curious about it, so I thought I might as well, you know, put it to rest. Let it be confirmed for you so you don't have to wonder. Yeah, I just like I like cute mascots and characters in general, and I like things that have like a warm palette. I like things that are yellow, orange, red, etc. So Pom Pom Puri stands out to me the most among all the big standard mascots. I really liked like playing Animal Crossing on the 3DS, New Leaf on the 3DS when they did the Sanrio collab. The Pom Pom Pudding set was my favorite. I loved the little outfit that you can get from it. I didn't really wear it, but I did love it, and I had it on display on a little mannequin in my house. I just love the colors, and it's made me very happy since me and the voice dropped our little wait, hold on here. I can show it to you again. Where's my card? I have it in here somewhere. Where's my Polaroid? There it is. Since we dropped these, it's made me very happy to see people draw us with our favorites. It's made me so happy. And seeing people give me his little acorn hat, his little beret, you know. I love it very much. It's made me so happy. I've also seen people divided about whether I am more suited to Pom Pom Pudding or to Cinnamoroll, right? And I honestly, I understand where that comes from, right? Because like looking at me, I look like Cinnamoroll, don't I? Because I've got the white hair, and I've got blue eyes as well. And I feel like people always compare me to dogs. So I kind of get that. Yeah, I saw that poll. The poll was what I saw. I don't know if there was more outside of that, but yeah, I saw a poll on my timeline, and it was really close. It was really tight when I saw it. I gotta apologize. You can subtract 1 vote from that poll, by the way. I voted for Pom Pom Pudding because I was curious to see the results. Yeah, I voted for that one, so you can subtract 1 from the data. I don't know if that changes anything. Yeah, Pom Pom Pudding's also a dog though. Yeah. So I think it makes sense. But yeah, no, I think I see the comparison. I see the comparison for sure. And I do think Cinna is very cute. I do think Cinna is very cute. Just not my personal favorite. You voted? Yeah, I wanted to see, because you can't see the results. I'm nosy. I needed to see what the vote was. And I knew I wouldn't see the tweet ever again, because you know, I talk about how things get pushed in my timeline, but it only ever happens once usually, and then it's gone forever. So I wanted to see it while it was still there. Why are you stalking us? I'm not stalking. What the problem is, honestly, that I stalk my other tags. That's what really it is. Because the way that Twitter works is that if you like things on a tag, it will push things to you that other people who like the same things also like. And so because you will like things and retweet things that are not in the tag alongside things that are in the tag. You see what I'm saying here? Yeah, no, I'm not a stalker. Yeah, no, this is not stalking. This is just me living my life and being suggested everything you're cooking up. Though I will say, I only tend to see things that have my name or my Oshi mark in it. So if there's more outside of that, I don't tend to see it. I've seen a couple things in that territory, but I don't see it as often. So if you're ever nervous about me seeing things, and I'm so sorry to be open about this if it makes you nervous, I think a good strategy is to censor or to replace the name usually. I think that's a good way to keep it from me. Yeah. Especially if it's something you especially do not want me to see or that you think would make me uncomfortable. I'd appreciate that. Because even if I don't go looking for it, it does show it to me anyway. Even the Oshi mark. I think the Oshi mark is usually still safe to use, especially when it comes to just talking about things that happen on stream. And the whole purpose of the Oshi mark is that you can talk about me in a way that I can't ego search. But it does still push it to me sometimes. But I don't know. I don't know all the logic. Yeah, that's up to you. It's up to you. Yeah, I will say I try to keep ego searching to a minimum, because for me it's a really bad negative feedback loop that doesn't stop if I start. And I find that it takes up too much time because I need to spend my time working on other stuff. Especially lately, I got hit with I can't give too many details, but I got hit with a surprise dilemma recently, and now I have to redo a ton of work that I did previously. And it's honestly on me. I probably should have anticipated it. So I have extra work to do lately. Oh, I should also apologize. I mentioned when I was revealing my schedule, I think I mentioned that there might be an upload this week. That was one of the things that got caught up in the mistake. So I need to redo some stuff so that it can be ready. So you might not see it soon, actually. Very sorry for anybody who remembered and was looking out for that. Yeah, know that I'm still cooking things behind the scene, and there's plenty to come, so please do not worry. But yeah, just to explain that, because I mentioned that I had something that was like basically done and ready to go. Yeah, I gotta work some things out. Thankfully, the other scare was actually with my karaoke stream as a result of the same thing, but I was able to resolve that, and so now it can be archived. Very, very thankful. Frustrating to deal with. Honestly, not too much. I think it's part of the course, and I don't know, I have the expectation that these things happen, and I have all the solutions I need to resolve them, so it's not a big deal at all. This is just me. Yeah, this is not me complaining. I'm not really that frustrated with it. This is just me letting you know that this is why it's the way it is. You know what I mean? I don't want you to be like looking out for something that's not actually coming in the end. Please do not worry. Speaking on the schedule, excited for the big event over on Zeal's, and yes, Zealous is here, or almost here for some people. It depends on where you live, because for some people it's actually already out. You got a little sneak peek if you live in certain parts of the world, right? Mm. I haven't, it's not available to me yet, but I have heard everything. I was gonna say I haven't checked the proper release because where I live, it's not available, but trust and believe, I've already heard every single song. I've listened to every single one. Honestly, some of them before they were even finished. And who knows? I may have a certain role in one song. I don't know. Maybe no, you gotta come to the Totsu later. You gotta come to the Totsu later. Yeah, to clarify. Also to clarify the itinerary, because we did in the end decide to change it. I mentioned this briefly. Originally, the plan was for all of By the Beat to join Zeal at the 00 hour mark, and then for all of NIJISANJI EN to be open to join at the 30-minute mark, just to give him extra time to talk about it for himself. After a certain release that comes before then, we decided that it would be best for him to do just by himself for the 30 minutes, and then By the Beat will join alongside anybody in the rest of EN who's interested at the 30-minute mark. So just to be clear, all right? just so you like, if you get there at the 11 or not, what time? I just say the 00 mark, right? If you get there and you don't see the rest of us, that's to clarify what we ended up deciding on in the end. Just to, because, you know, we're all very, very proud of him, and we really want to celebrate it with him. But also we felt that it would probably be best, since this is like his event, right? It'd probably be best to give him some time alone with you, right? So I hope that's okay. I hope that's not too disappointing. Yeah, I think it's the best move. This is Zeal's big day, you know? We did not want to steal it from him in the end. And speaking of like By the Beat as a group, you may have noticed on the NIJISANJI EN main YouTube channel, and also on the NIJISANJI World Twitter, there was a certain premiere that got posted. I wonder what that's about, huh? What's that all about? Q&A video, huh? I shouldn't say too much about it now, since it hasn't actually gone up yet, but I can explain some things, maybe get you excited and clarify some things people are unsure about. It is entirely pre-recorded, I'll say that. And to also, if things seem a little off at any points, it may be because we actually recorded it before debut. We recorded it a good while ago. This is actually one of the things that we all worked on to work on in Japan. This is one of the things that we were there for, that we had to restructure and figure out again because I got sick. Yeah, we had this interesting concept in mind for like just a standard interview format video, because we figured since we're new and since it's been a while since the last new group, there might be some questions about us, or people might be unsure about, you know, who we are and what we're like. So we all worked to figure out a structure for staff to ask us questions and for us to answer them. It's similar to like I don't know if you've ever seen those videos from like I think BuzzFeed does them. A bunch of social media, celebrity, micro celebrity networks on YouTube do these types of videos. It's like that. It's like that. It was really, really fun to record. I will warn you as well, my microphone was going through it, that whole thing, and I didn't realize it until after it was over. So I'm not sure that it was fixed in the end, because it's not very easy to fix. In fact, it might be impossible to fix, but still a very fun watch. I hope that you can enjoy when the time comes. Yeah, that'll be dropping in about 3 hours. It'll be 1 hour before Zeal's EP. Must be nostalgic to see it. Yeah, it honestly is, since it's been a while now. Especially now, because we've been streaming for a whole month, and we recorded it well before debut. So, like, thinking about it, I almost wonder if it'll be embarrassing even, right? because now we've come into our own as streamers. We've done a lot more, and we've figured things out. But that was kind of like in a way, that was actually our first collab, even if it wasn't on stream. Because, you know, we had hung out a bunch, but that's very different, right? Than hanging out in the context of preparing something for a viewer. Did you know it was going to come out an entire month post debut? Yeah, I think we did. I'm pretty sure that was the plan. Yeah, because when it comes to preparing things for a debut, we all agreed that it would be better to space things out however we could, so that you wouldn't get too overwhelmed. Because otherwise, I find that it's very easy, in my experience at least, as a viewer, it's very easy to get stretched thin when there's too much dropping at the same time. We thought that
For example, the karaoke relay, we considered that for first or second week, but we were like, no, first and second week is a little too crazy. Let's do it the third week instead. And then spacing out after the karaoke relay, we were like, you know, about a month post debut, maybe just around the first month anniversary would be good for this. Yeah, we don't want you to, we don't want you to fizzle out and explode. Yeah, even it out a little bit. Pace yourself. So I hope that it doesn't have the opposite effect, and it's like, please feed me, I'm starving. I hope that it's not the opposite, because we have that consideration in mind that we don't want to overwhelm anybody. You guys are so thoughtful. I don't know. We do the best we can. We do the best we can, and we're still learning, of course. I hope that you can enjoy everything that we've been cooking up. And everything else to come as well. I'm just I'm very privileged to have a group that I can work well with and that is on the same page as me when it comes to what we want, right? I think when it comes to working in groups, especially in this industry, I think the biggest challenge is having a different direction in mind. Because, you know, everybody in this world, regardless of your career, is an individual. Honestly, with regards to your career, because that also makes you an individual, right? Everybody is different. Everybody wants different things and is aiming for different end goals and has different paths to those end goals, even when they share that end goal. So it can be very, very difficult to coordinate as a group. And I think it's very understandable that this can produce a lot of difficulties when it comes to planning events and planning content. I'm very, very privileged, and I truly won the lottery to end up with people that want the exact same things that I want. And for the most part, want to get those things in the same way that I want. And even then, we aren't exactly the same, right? There are enough differences between us that we aren't stale. And that's something I also really appreciate. Everybody can bring something interesting to their table. And so I'm very, very thankful for that. Yeah, this is a good lottery. This is the lottery I'll participate in. Or honestly, because I won this one, I should, like, that's another reason to never participate in a lottery in the future. I feel like I've used up all my good luck being put next to Zeal, Sable, and Frio. I'm very, very thankful. And I'm looking forward to the infinite future, the infinite possibilities. There's a lot we still have in mind even now for like what we can do together to entertain you and bring you some fun times and some smiles. So I hope you can look forward to it as well. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. It's cooled down a bit now, so if you've got a beverage on hand, if you got some tea, if you'd like to share some tea with me this picnic, let's get hydrated. Let's have a sip, all right? I love the slight spice that comes with ginger in any ginger blend. It's so refreshing when it goes down the throat. It's like it warms me up in my chest a little bit. I really, really like it. Do you have any snacks? I have some cookies. Here, I'm gonna have a cookie too. Reach over. I moved it out of the way and then forgot about it. Okay. Would you like one as well? They're really small, so to describe the size, it's kind of like it's a little bit, it's about 2 times the size of the average coin, or like quarter, you know, like a coin for currency. It is about, well, it's really, really small in my hand, but it might be a little bit less in your hand. Find that my hands are a little bit longer than other people. I'm trying to think of a good way to describe this size. Anyway, open wide. Piano hands? Yeah. I don't know if it's just the way that I'm built, like the way I was born, or if it was because I learned piano when I was younger, but I do have slightly longer fingers, and they can stretch out really far. I have like a long span for my fingers. I don't know if I'll ever end up demonstrating that for you, but maybe. Or maybe to give you an answer at some point, just so you can imagine, maybe. I'll tell you what, next time I'm at my piano, I'll count the maximum distance I'll give you 2 notes, and that way when you're at a piano, you can compare. Yaoi hands. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever. I'll take it. Allegedly tall people have longer fingers. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? I don't know for sure that it's actually because I play piano. I think it's more like it is just a benefit I was born with that makes it easier to play piano. Oh, my chat just froze up. Give me just a minute. He only reads the message that makes us look bad. That's not true. I just read whatever stands out to me. And to be true, truth be told, I try to read everything. I just don't respond out loud to everything. It'd be too fast to keep up with in that scenario. Yeah, right. Don't send bad messages if you're embarrassed, right? That's on you. That's on you. I see you. Played piano when I was a kid and I have very small hands. I've always wondered about whether... Because I will say this, because I do believe that playing an instrument or using a tool in a certain way can influence the structure of your hands. For example, I'm trying to think of how to describe this properly, all right? Look at your thumb, all right? Bend your thumb back as far as you can without like touching it or anything. Just, you know, like do a thumbs up. Your arm is away from you and pull that thumb as far back towards your face as you can. Can that go very far? Because on my right hand, it can't really go that far, right? My right thumb does not go that far. However, my left thumb goes pretty far, noticeably and significantly further than my right thumb. And I believe the reason for this is that I've played guitar and ukulele. Because with certain tighter chords, you have to squeeze it really hard with your left hand, and your left thumb goes against the back of the neck of the guitar or the ukulele. And playing it over the course of years, I believe has stretched my left thumb or adjusted the tension on my left thumb knuckle so that it goes further. So I do believe that if you played a lot of piano, I doubt that it would make your hands bigger. That's going to have something more to do with hormones. But it could make it so that your fingers stretch out further. I think that might be true. I wonder. Left thumb is stretched because of playing guitar. See? I've got people to corroborate it. Yeah, the moment I noticed that, it wigged me out so bad. It freaks me out even now because I'll like sometimes I'll put my thumbs next to each other and stretch them out, and it's so stark, the difference. It's like they're on 2 different people's hands. And honestly, sometimes I do something even worse than that, but that's honestly like a choice that I make that makes my hands even more weird next to each other. Because I play ukulele, if I'm ever going through a phase where I play a lot of ukulele, I will continue regularly cutting the nails on my left hand so that I can do fingering as I'm supposed to, so that I can do like the chords with my left hand. But then for my right hand, I'll deliberately grow out my fingernails a little bit longer. And so when I look at my hands next to each other, you know, my right nails will be longer and my left nails will be shorter. And so it looks like 2 different hands. It looks like 2 different people. And it trips me out so bad to look at. It's not sus. You make me sick. You make me sick. You see what I mean? Here I am saying, that is the correct term, by the way, the one I just used. That is the actual correct term that is used. That is used. People use this word. You make me sick. You're so goofy. Be normal, all right? Behave. Be normal. What term? If you don't know, never mind. It's better this way. It's better that you don't know. I prefer the world where nobody thinks this way. Nah, I'm just playing. I think it's funny. I wish that I would catch these things before I say them, honestly. Then I would adjust my language a bit more. Yeah, Kaelix versus the perverts. I said before that's just NIJISANJI EN. That's just the rest of the world, I'm learning. The whole world is just filled with perverts, and I'm the only one. It's Kaelix versus the world. It is fun this way, though. It is fun this way. It's like, sometimes it's really embarrassing, I'll say, though. Sometimes it's very embarrassing for me to say something that to me is entirely 1000% normal, and I don't even consider that it might be weird. And then suddenly I'm surrounded by people gawking and opening their eyes and gasping. Be normal, yes, let it be known for the Sable in the back. Hi, Sable. I know that I let my freak show sometimes, but I don't know if you're one to talk either about being normal. Let's be so real. Let's be so real. How's your day been? Did you sleep? Did you sleep after your stream this morning? Have you slept yet? Did you just wake up? What's the rest of your day look like? I assume you'll be there for the Totsu, right? What's your meal gonna be? What are you gonna eat? I'm so curious. What if we establish freaky as normal? Well, okay, consider this. If everybody in the world is a pervert, think about what the word normal actually means, right? Maybe it is normal to just be a pervert. Maybe I'm abnormal for being pure of mind and pure of heart. Maybe that makes me the freak. Maybe I am the freak, actually. You know what? Es culpa de Kaelix. When in doubt, blame Kaelix. It's always Kaelix's fault. Are you really though? I think I'm okay, I'm not normal. I'm decidedly abnormal in a number of ways. Beginning with my brain and ending with my body. Everything about me is weird. However, I do think I'm relatively pure in the ways that matter, especially when it comes to this like freaky stuff. All your freakish ways. Yeah, I think I'm a bit pure when it comes to that. I think when it comes to me being freaky, it's more about just having really unconventional ideas and thinking really strange things would be nice. Like now I've been profiled as somebody that just wants to be crushed by a machine, which, to be fair, is true. However, there's more to it than that, okay? It's not like that. It is the purest wish to I just think it would be really good for my back. Because, you know, being tall means that I get some bad lower back pain sometimes. And my neck hurts a lot. Sometimes I have to be very careful about my posture so that my back and neck don't hurt as often. And I just think that being crushed would be like the ultimate form of like a back massage. You know what I mean? It'd just be good. Covered in mucus, that was normal too. And I never said that I wanted to be. I was describing the way that I currently felt. All right, think about it this way. Okay, I realize mucus sounds like a gross word because mucus lines your nose and your throat, and these are kind of gross spaces. But think about think about the comfort of being an infant in the womb, the ultimate safe space. All right, you were still with your mother, you're in her tummy, and everything is cool. You don't have to pay taxes, you don't have to worry about rent, you don't have to get a job. You just stay there and you sleep all day. It's like a warm little space, and you've got this warm fluid membrane around you, keeping you safe from the rest of the world. That's what I meant. You know what I mean? Not making it better. What? Is it worse? Is that worse? What do you mean? Everybody's experienced this. Everybody has been in the ultimate safe space that is their mother's womb. Everybody in the entire world has experienced this. You know what I mean? We don't remember being in the womb, but you can imagine it. You can imagine it. It must have been so nice. I did not remember that, but I sympathize with the taxes part. It's pretty rough. I gotta be so for real. That is probably the only thing that I'm not looking forward to about this new gig. I'm so afraid of the IRS. I've paid my taxes like a good tax-paying citizen until now, but you know, it's always been a lot easier. I gotta get a tax guy as soon as possible. I don't know that Elmo can handle taxes anymore. Safe space is under blanket, but that doesn't accurately describe what I was feeling, right? Like, to be in a blanket feels like to be in a house almost. It's like you're in something rather than surrounded by something. The warmth I felt in that moment was like I was surrounded by something, like I was encompassed in something. It felt like I was in a fluid. It felt like I was in a bathtub. That's what it felt like. It felt so nice. You just don't get me. You don't get me at all, do you? See, this is what I mean. It's not like it's not a freaky thing in the traditionally freaky way, right? It's just me describing something I'm feeling in a really unconventional way. That's what makes me a freak. In a pool full of syrup. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But I think syrup would be a little too sticky, right? I think it'd be more just gentle. Like you could break out of it very easily if you wanted to, but you don't want to. That's the point, right? We really don't, hun. You really don't. You really don't get me. 40% understand? Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's honestly much more than what I'll get in the average room of people. Like if I was just with a room of random people in NIJISANJI EN, for example, in a room of 10 people, say 10 of my senpai, we'll include some of By the Beat in there as well. I think one person in that room would understand what I'm talking about and would agree with me. Only one. And I'd be lucky to get that. I'd have to have somebody like Aya Senpai there to match my freak to get a 1. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that's what makes me a freak. I just think sometimes hyperbole is a really effective way to get your ideas across. Do you like weighted blankets? I do. I don't know. I just really like tension and pressure. Like physical tension. I like, it depends though. It's contextual. Sometimes I really like to just be squeezed. I love a really tight hug. But other times that's almost overwhelming. Yeah, do you have one? No, but I really want to get one. But I borrowed one from my brother at one point, and then he took it back from me because he hates me. Yeah, no, I'd like to get a really super heavy one. That'd be really nice. I'd like to just be crushed under the blanket. You know what I mean? It just feels good. It feels good to be compressed by things. It's like, it's comforting. It's comforting. I don't know if it's my posture or what that causes it to feel comforting. I don't know if it's because I'm large or if it's because, I don't know. But I just like it. It just feels nice. Compressive clothes. See, that's what I mean when I say it's contextual. That's where I like the exact opposite. I hate tight clothes. I'll wear tight clothes for a good look. For example, this turtleneck is kind of tight, but it looks really good on me, don't you think? So I'll wear it. I'll wear it. But the moment I get home, it's coming off. For my comfort, I actually like to wear really, really loose clothing. I like to wear like I have a couple shirts that I've actually cut the ring off the top so that there's no tension at the top. I always cut the tags off as well. I like really, really oversized, like extra large t-shirts, bigger than I need. Just because I don't know, I like to feel almost like I'm not wearing clothes. It feels better that way. If I did not live with people, see, this is going to sound like a freaky thing. I caught this one before I said it, but I'm going to say it anyway because I think it's fine to say. But if I didn't live with anybody, I'd just be walking around naked because it just feels best to not wear clothes. Like I hate wearing tight socks as well. If I can get away with not wearing shoes, I won't wear shoes. Like I never wear shoes around the house. I like to wear really loose shorts as well because those don't cover as much of the legs. I like to be free. I think we learn shame as humans, and shame restricts us to clothes. Yeah, it's just comfier that way. It's just comfier that way. Yeah, it's natural. It's natural. That being said, I would never make it to a nudist colony. I think I got too much shame for that. I'm not gonna show up to the, I don't know. I think I could do like an onsen or something like that, especially if I went with friends. But I don't think I could do like outdoors or anything like that. I could not do a nudist beach or anything like that. That's not for Kaelix. Streamer or streaker? I'm clothed almost all the time, to be honest with you, because I live with my family. I can't even sleep naked. But yeah, no. I don't like tight clothes very much when it comes to what I wear for comfort, like around the house or like if I'm just making a quick shopping run. But I love to, I love to look good. Clothes gives me confidence, so sometimes I'll wear clothes that look nice on me but are not particularly comfortable. It was the same throughout high school. Like I chose to wear collared shirts and neckties every day, but those were so uncomfortable to wear. I hated them. But I would rather be uncomfortable and confident than comfortable and unconfident when I'm out in public. Makes me feel better. Have you ever shared a bedroom with anyone? Could you be comfortable in your room? Obviously, I have a room to myself now, but when I was younger, we actually shared a room, me and my siblings, for the longest time. I don't think I got my own bedroom to myself until I was like 16 even. Yeah. When we were really little, I think we even, yeah, I say I think, I know, we even shared a bed with all of us. That's just the way it was. But eventually we were able to separate things, get everybody their own proper bed to themselves. How many siblings? I am the eldest of 5. There are 5 of us. And we're all pretty close in age, so it was always it was never a big deal or anything. Yeah, just big family things. I don't really resent it though. I realize that it might sound like a sad or scary thing, but to me it's like a sweet memory. I almost miss it. Not that I'm I'm not particularly interested in sharing a bed with all 5 of them now. You know, we're all grown, but I don't know. I look back on it fondly. Did you ever fight with your siblings? All the time. All the time. Though I will say, I think they've always been bigger fighters than me. I was more of an instigator. For example, my parents would really love to get like, they're called snack cakes, right? Like the pre-packaged sweet desserts that come in little like plastic wraps in a cardboard box. They would get those, and they'd sometimes give them to us if we were well behaved, or if we did nice stuff, or if we were just, you know, just decent. But they did not want us to just eat it because we wanted it. They were very strict about that, and I think that's a good habit to have as a parent. I think it's a good habit to teach. And so they would, because I would, oh my God, because I would always sneak out at night and steal them because I was really selfish and greedy as a kid. They actually got a little lockbox for the snack cakes to keep us out of them. They got a little safe, and I spent weeks, and I eventually figured out the combination, but I didn't want to get caught anymore. So what I would do is late at night, I would get one of my siblings who was still awake. I'd be like, hey, listen here. If you go to the lockbox and put in this combination and bring back 3 snack cakes, I'll let you have one of them. And because they were young and gullible, they would always do it. And then, oh, I feel so bad. And then when they'd get caught sometimes, they'd be like, Kaelix told me to do it. I'd be like, I don't know what he's talking about. He's lying. He's throwing me under the bus. I was terrible. I was so mean. I was a terrible kid. I was so evil. I didn't learn empathy until years later. I was so wicked. I was the worst kid ever. No, I was a terrible brother when we were little. I think I stepped up to responsibility and became a lot nicer and a lot more doting later on. I think around like around 13 was when I started taking my position as the eldest a lot more seriously. But yeah, no, when we were all really little, I was evil. I was a schemer. I was wicked. They were my pawns, and they all played into the part willingly and enthusiastically. They did whatever I told them to. Oh my goodness. Doting at 13? Is that early? I feel like that was pretty late. At least by my perspective, at least. Yeah. Male manipulator. It was actually a little nostalgic in a way, but it made me a little scared. But I remember Vox Senpai called out sociopathy. He's like, that was the most sociopathic thing I've ever seen from you. Talking about me playing Among Us yesterday. But I wasn't manipulating yesterday. I was actually freaked out. It was just the one thing I knew to do. Roderick. I guess I was kind of like Roderick when we were all younger. But no, I think I was very different past 13, 14-ish. No, he really thought I was faking it. And I think the others might have too. I was freaked out. I was genuinely going, like the stream was over and my hands were still shaking for a while. Like 30 minutes later, my hands were still shaking. I had to take the longest hot shower ever. I scrubbed every inch of my body. I shedded every dead skin cell to feel better. And I ate like 10 billion pounds of syrup, 10 billion gallons of syrup. It was so rough for me. They thought I was just gaslighting. They thought I was just in it for the love of the game. Nuh-uh. I loved the game. It was very fun. And I was so happy to hang out with all of them. I've been so excited to get to know them better. Switching POVs and one of them calling you a master manipulator, then to you panicking. Oh my goodness. I feel like it must have been the craziest duality ever. Like if you did like the split POV thing. I guess in the end, I'm thankful that I streamed my POV for that, because I feel like if you didn't get to see me freaking out, I feel like you probably would have thought the same. Would you trust me if you thought that was true? Would you trust me anymore? Do you have nice pancakes? Yeah, they're pretty good. I usually prefer to make my own batter and cook them myself on a frying pan, but I was too pooped, so I just microwave some frozen ones that we have. But they were pretty good. I put some butter on them as well to make it a little bit nicer, and then I just doused them in syrup. Yeah, I feel like mine and Banta specifically was a really funny gap. I saw there was one clip that like there's one clip that actually spliced them together in a single video. It was at the beginning of the third imposter game that I played, where it was me, Vanta Senpai, and Rosemi Senpai. And he was like, I'm balling with my president and Kaelix. And for like, he was like, he's so cute, what the heck? And for me, I was freaking out. I was foaming at the mouth. I was like, or then the other one where I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. Can you just stay with me? And I genuinely, in that moment, I know it might have just looked cute to you. I genuinely was too scared to act on my own at that point. It was one thing when it was the Skeld, right? Because the Skeld is a map that I've played a bunch in the past. Because I did play when Among Us was in its prime. Years ago now. But I never played the other maps. So that was like double scary. And it was like added onto the momentum of the two previous games. I genuinely didn't know what to do other than just follow him around. That's all I knew to do. I was so freaked out. And then on his end, he's like, he's just standing there. Ha ha ha. Oh, it was so funny. I know, I was freaked out. I'd love to play again, but it's gonna have to be a while till my next Among Us. I can't play that game again for a while. Okay, we're gonna call it an indefinite Among Us hiatus. But it will have its end. I'll play again in the future, and then I'll enter another one. Called you his son. He's claimed me. It's so funny. I don't know. I wasn't sure about playing up a, because you may remember when Twisty Senpai first met Vanta Senpai, they established, or I guess she established this entire family tree, right? Where they're like brother and sister, and I was like, I don't know, I probably shouldn't step on her brand. I probably shouldn't do that. But then he just did it for me. So I guess I'm his son now. So I guess that makes her my my auntie. Auntie Twisty. It kind of felt that way during that collab though. And the same with Fulgur Senpai. Whenever I saw for his POV when I went back and like scrolled through Twitter, I saw a clip where he was when it was me, him, and Sable walking around, he called us his boys. We were like his sons. He kept us safe. It was funny. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, congrats on the adoption. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have another sip of my tea. Oh, actually, I think here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have another cookie, and then I'm gonna finish the whole thing off because it's the perfect temperature right now. Where'd I put it? All right, here it is. Would you like one too? I've got several left. I got like 6 or 7 left, so I'll give you at least one more. But you know I'm very greedy. All right, say ah. Umai. Want that cookie so effing bad? Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to have 90% of them at least to myself. I'm very selfish with sweets. I hope that's okay. We'll just have to pack way more sweets if you want more than 10% of this. Nah, I'm mostly joking. I try to be careful about that when I'm eating with others. Plus, I do have a sweet tooth, but I think I get a little overwhelmed after a few. You monster, he's starving us. What? No, here. Okay, here, have another one. Here, I'll open We're gonna whittle it down, but let's have another one. All right. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. All right, I'm gonna finish off my tea now. If you've got a beverage or if you like anything that I've set out on this little picnic blanket, you should have a sip as well. All right. Ah, nothing goes well with cookies like tea, right? It's so nice. Please don't be like Zeal and feed us stale glizzies. Does he feed you stale glizzies? What the heck? Oh, Zeal and his glizzies. Yeah, I learned about Code Glizzy. I don't know if you saw that. I learned about Code Glizzy, how he has this code with his supers where if you send a hot dog emoji, he does the whole "Thank you for the super. My name is Zeal Ginjoka." He's too good. He's so crazy. I wonder if I should establish a code like that. I don't know. I still haven't decided yet exactly what kind of flow I'm going to establish for reading supers in my case as well, so I'm not too sure. I'll explain this definitively during the members stream, like the very first membership stream, which I'd like to schedule one next week, just so you know. Like to talk at length about how I'm going to do it. But I think I may talk about it as well at the end of this week during the membership opening celebration, which will be a public stream. But I think the best flow may actually be to maybe think names as we go, or maybe not even do that, and then address them at the end of each stream that I get them in. Because that way, I worry that for me, I'm very distractible. I'm the most distractible person in the world. So if I read every message as it arrives, I'm not going to be able to hold a conversation with you. I'm going to be so honest. I don't want to I don't want to disrupt the flow of our conversation. As much as I disrupt the flow without the supers. So I think I'm super susceptible and vulnerable to it being an interruption. Yeah, I think I've thought about it a lot. It may even take some experimentation, trying a little bit of everything to see what works. I've been watching a lot of my senpai lately to see what they do, watching my wave mates to see how they handle it. And there's a big mix of approaches. Everybody has a slightly different idea. I may even do a mix myself. I may have some days where I'll just do it throughout the stream, depending on what the activity is, but yeah, I may do it at the end. For example, I may make a habit of thinking them as we go during unarchived streams, just in case people aren't there the whole time, or I don't know. It's tough. There's a lot to figure out. I still feel like I want to figure out something better for Streamlabs as well. So I figure part of the course is actually for Streamlabs to slow down the moment memberships and supers open. So I guess I won't have to worry about it too much after a while, and I can just periodically catch up on them after they built up. By the way, thank you so much to everyone who has supported me via Streamlabs in spite of me not really doing anything to encourage or thank it properly. I need you to know I check it every other day. I do read every single message, even if I don't acknowledge them on stream. So it means a lot to me that you've gone out of your way to support me, especially this early on. So thank you so much. I'll see about catching up on the ones that came in after, like where we left off during the last catch-up stream, maybe, so I can properly thank everybody. Yeah, I appreciate it much more than you know. Yeah, I guess it is important to say that I'm technically not obligated to read them. And it is common practice to not read every single thing out loud. And there will come a time that I get a donation that I never read out loud. In fact, there will be many in the future, I'm sure. But I don't know. I'm very, very thankful for it. I take this kind of thing very, very seriously, and I'd feel very, very bad if you felt like it wasn't appreciated. So I am going to try my best to let it be known that I see it and that I appreciate it. And to let it be done in a way that you can trust, right? Because it's very easy for me to just, I'm gonna be so for real. It would be very easy for me to just say, I read every single one, but to not actually look. I need you to trust me here. I don't know. It means a lot to me. You really do not have to go out of your way to do something like this, so makes me very happy. I'll do my best to deserve the support I've received so far. Yeah, balance is important. Thank you for being so understanding. I appreciate it a lot. Manipulate? No, 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 no. I'm not manipulating. Yeah, no, no, no. Please, please do not ever. Please never, ever, never feel obligated to donate by any means or to do anything like that. Please do not let anything I say sway you to do that. Please be careful. I would feel way more guilty if someone went out of their way to do something that they couldn't handle. Yeah. And the same will be true for memberships when the time comes. I'm gonna do my best with memberships, and I'll talk about this at the end of the week as well in more detail, but my structure plan for it is to do enough things behind memberships that people who get them feel rewarded for getting them, but not so much that people who can't get them don't feel left out. So it will not be a humongous FOMO, right? I hope you can enjoy when the time comes. Hypnotic blue eyes, are they hypnotic? Honestly, I'll take it as a compliment. I feel like I usually get that I need to wear brown contacts instead. That's what I'm usually told. Are you hypnotized? Will glasses be off in member streams? Why not? Why not? I think I will pull them off for most member streams, actually. Because I don't know, it's a chill space. I don't need to worry about seeing everything as much. It's a lot slower, so. Maybe that can be a little special thing. Of course, I don't mind taking them off in public every now and then. It's a little rough out here though, because you know it's very bright outside. Gotta protect my eyes, but maybe as a little treat every now and then, I can just. I feel blind. I'm blinded. I can't see you anymore. Oh my goodness, where'd you go? No, I'm just playing. I'm not that. I don't have that bad eyesight. Well, it is pretty bad, but I can still see you if you're sitting right in front of me, you know? All right, I'm gonna put these back on. This is a little treat every now and then. I'm gonna have another cookie, actually. I thought the last one would be the last, but I want more now that I've had some. Would you like one as well? We've got 3 left, I think. Yeah, we got 3 left, so you can have one more. Open wide. Oh, by the way, I haven't said this on stream. Thank you so much for getting Akari Ngayatek Tazo, my cover, my debut cover, to 500,000 views. That is literally 500,000. That is so many views. I did not expect this much support for it, so I'm very, very thankful. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm already trying to figure out a game plan for what the next cover is going to look like, the next full cover. I'm getting all the stuff in order, figuring out, you know, who I'm going to go to for it, because I realize that you may see this as a charm point. I did everything for myself for the first cover, right? I drew it, I animated it, I mixed it, but I'd like to hold myself to a higher standard of quality and also a lighter workload in the future. So I'll be going to other people for most things from now on, like illustrators and mixers and animators and stuff. So I hope you can look forward to whatever the next one ends up being. Cannot say at all when it's going to be. These things take a really, really, really long time. It takes so long to finish a full cover here. There's so much you got to take into account, or just in general, not even just here. So I need you to have, like I have, I need you to have humongous respect for anybody that releases covers. It takes so much work, and it's such an investment of both time and money, and but it's one I'm very passionate about, so I plan to do it a bunch, or at least as much as I can. It's so tough. It's so tough. So yeah, it probably won't be anytime soon that I have another full cover, but know that I'm working on it now. And once I figure out a flow, I'll try to get into like a loop of doing them on some kind of, it'll ultimately still be irregular, but vaguely regular, like every XY months, you know what I mean? Any ideas what song cover would be next? I am looking at quite a few. One might even be a duet, if we lock everything in soon. Can't say who it's with. Can't say what the song is. I will say, for the solo that I'm looking at right now, that I haven't locked anything. I'm just working out the vagaries, working out the vague stuff. I'm thinking something kind of cool, something kind of upbeat and fun. And then for the duet with whoever it is with, it might be kind of serious, kind of dark. I wonder. You're free to speculate forever. It'll be a while if it happens. If it happens, but yeah. Yeah, know that we're all thinking about stuff. I wonder. But yeah, no. Don't look forward to it too much. I don't want to excite you for something, because again, it may not happen in the end, and if it does happen, it'll be way later. It'll be a while. It's gonna take a lot of stuff to get it done. Japanese or Western, you can trust that for any archived cover, there is a 99% chance that it's gonna be Japanese. Aside from like really important stuff, I also just really enjoy singing in Japanese. I have a relative confidence with it, so. Of course, I would like to see if I can. I would like to see if I can get you something in English as well in the future. Yeah, don't look forward to it too much. Just remember this day, maybe in the distant future. Can we know how long the karaoke will be? The one on Saturday. I will tell you that it is a set list of 7 songs. I'd like to work up my stamina so that I can go for longer. I realize that might actually be a bit short compared to what you're used to with karaoke streams. I just find that right now, because I went a while without singing. I went a long time without singing. Right now, once I hit like the 9th song, I start to go really weak. I lose my support and I get really flat. Especially when it's back to back by myself without others singing there. Especially with the songs that I like to sing, because I really love to sing really challenging songs for me. I find it really fun to pick something that's kind of tough. I have more fun that way, so I find that if I do set lists of about 7, I can balance my voice, do a better job overall, and then in this case have a voice left over to stream later on. Because immediately after the karaoke, or maybe not immediately after, I might take like a 30 to 45 minute recess. But after that karaoke, I'll do a regular chatting stream to celebrate monetization as well. Yeah, it'll be 7 songs, and I've something really cute. I'll tell you about this as well. Maybe get your head turning, your gears in your head turning about it. Maybe wondering what it is. Because I could not be here without my beloved wavemates, I decided to dedicate 1 song to each of them as well. So there are 3 songs on the list of 7 that are dedicated to them, and then the rest of them are dedicated to you. Yeah, a little hint as a treat. 7 is plenty. Thank you so much. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, I wanna work up my stamina. There was a time that I could sing a lot more and for a lot longer. I remember whenever I would do karaoke online with my friends, I would go for way longer. I'd do set lists of like 20 plus. And we'd just go back and forth for hours and hours and hours. So I'd like to work up to doing a longer set list, especially for unarchived set lists. Because I will, obviously I can't get into any details, but when it comes to preparing an archived set list so that it can stay up on YouTube forever, there's a lot more that goes into making sure that it's safe. And then for an unarchived set list, there's still a lot of work that goes into it, but much less so. So it's easier to prepare a set list in general for an unarchived stream. So yeah, I promise you can expect more than 7 songs from me for any unarchived karaoke. Those will be a little bit longer. I will say I mentioned 20, but mind you, this is with other people hanging out with me and doing this stuff together. So I get time to rest. I can't say where I'd tap out if it was just me going in a straight line. Yeah, I've got a lot of I've actually been planning set lists ahead of time as well, as best as I can. I've got a bunch of ideas, a bunch of themes already, so I hope you can look forward to when I start doing my themed set lists in the future. For unarchived, will you do English? Unarchived is going to be where I'm mostly doing English songs. Yeah, I may do some Japanese songs in unarchived karaokes, but those will be mostly English for a number of reasons. Need to hear the musical theater one if it happens. I may or may not have a musical theater set list prepared. Cannot say when it would happen. Yeah, there may come a day. Ah, my goodness. All right, topic change. I've fallen into a topic pit of just teasing you too much. I don't wanna tease you to death. I don't wanna drive you crazy. All right, I'm gonna have this last cookie to myself because there's only one left. Unless you'd like to break it in half and share it. How about that? All right. You get the smaller piece though. Just kidding. All right, here you go. Say ah. Oishii. Your greed is immeasurable. I was joking. I gave you the bigger piece. You saw, right? Gotsou-sama deshita. Do you say that after a small snack? Or is that reserved to a proper meal? Would you say that after like a single or like a small handful of cookies? Does that count for gotsou? I wonder. The greed they warned us about. The liver is evil and must be punished. I understand your siblings now. What? What? I'm so generous. I'm so generous and selfless. I promise. After any meal is fine, but does this count as a meal? If they're really good cookies, I think it counts. I think it works for both. Ah, I see. Gracias por la comida. Haha. Yeah, thank you for the food. Isn't that for thinking the meal after you finish it though? I think you say it in general after finishing a meal. It can be said to thank the cook, I think, like the person that made it, or thanking the meal itself. Yeah, it's just one of those things you say. Kind of like for example, even if you go to a house that has nobody in it, sometimes you'll say tadaima. You know? Or what is the other one? I can't remember. There's one where it's like sorry for intruding. What is that one again? I need to study. Mada. Motto benkyou shinakia. Yeah, it's a habit. Ojama. Hi. Ojama shimasu. That's the one. Hi. Thank you so much. Arigato. I need to try harder to remember these things and make them habits for me whenever I'm in certain spaces. I've seen people say kanpai instead of itadakimasu for small snacks. Yeah, I think kanpai is especially common for beverages, right? You say kanpai and then you clink your glasses together. It's like a toast. Way. Your side profile is so pretty. Oh, what this? You think I look pretty from the side? You think so? I like looking straight forward. I feel like I have a nice center profile, but I'm glad you like it. 発音がとても綺麗です。本当にマジでありがとう。発音だけ OK ですけど、喋るは難しいです。本当に難しい。もっと勉強しなきゃ。I need to study a lot more because speaking is really hard. 本当にペラペラじゃないです。ペラペラじゃないです。I cannot form my thoughts fast enough. デボネマルおはよう。おはよう。来てくれてありがとう。頑張ります。デボネマル頑張りますよ。応援しています。応援してくれてありがとう。Thank you so much for cheering me on. I'll do my best to study. It sounds so much sweeter when you're speaking Japanese. I think it's the Sable described this to me once as the Seiyu switch. Seiyu switch, where because I listen to a lot of anime to learn and a lot of like livers, I find that the Japanese that I've picked up is not always natural Japanese. It's not how people would naturally speak it. I assume almost like a voice actor's tone. For example, I think in natural Japanese, it's very common to slur your speech a little bit and speak really fast. Like even like the common arigatou gozaimasu gets shortened to azas, or like itakumasu, like just very fast, very slurred. But if I say these things, just my natural inclination is to really enunciate everything like "arigatou gozaimasu." Just very, just very clear, because that's just how I know to speak it right now. I do kind of hope that someday I can, reach a point where I also fluidly speak like other people do. Which say did you take inspiration from the most, if you have one? I've talked about them once, but I think my two biggest ones are Hayami Saori and Hanae Natsuki. I like them the most. I think that they're I remember this word. You taught me this word. Hanashigoe desho? Hanashigoe? 本当に綺麗。早見沙織さんの話し声。花江夏樹さんも。I really like their voices. I think they're very pretty, very delicate. Need to know how we feel about Soma Saito. I love Soma Saito. He's very cool. I love his roles, like his voice acting roles, but I especially love his singing. He has this there's this song he dropped at one time. I think this was Soma Saito, right? It's like da 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 de to da 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 da. How's that go? I really like that song. I listen to that a lot. It was a really pretty song. And the music video was really cute as well. Very goofy. I like music videos like that. Yeah, I just like seiyus in general. I especially like to listen to male seiyus though, because they're kind of like an inspiration for me. I try to take after it where I can. Straight from an otome. I kind of do look like I'm from an otoge right now, right? With the sakura, with the flower viewing context, our little picnic, our little setting here. I do feel like I'm on a. I feel like I should be in a video game right now. You know what I mean? Like, hold on. Let me see if I can. Where is it? Is it this one? You see my vision? And then I get a little dialogue bubble on top that's like, "Hi, thank you for coming to see me today." And then you get to choose your dialogue. Would you like another cookie? I'm so sorry. There aren't any left. You see my vision? Are we heading towards the good ending? I don't think there are any good endings when I'm involved, unfortunately. I think every true ending is always a bad end. Ikebo? Majide? Ore? Ikebo? You mean it? I feel like I get called cute a lot. I like to be called cool though. Makes me feel cool. What would Kaelix Ikebo sound like? 今日は来てくれてありがとう。俺のライブ配信へようこそ。Or what do they say? What do ikemen say? He call you like a koneko-chan. No, I don't have the Zeal Ikebo. I don't have the Sable Ikebo. I can't do it. I'm a fraud. Uso da. Yeah, I think I'm too clumsy. Moe moe kyun, eh? Moe moe kyun. Yeah, no, I think I'm too goofy for Ikebo. I'm too goofy. Baka sugi. You're too sweet. I'm glad that you think it sounds cool. As long as you're happy, I think I'll be happy. You're an actor. I'd like to be. I'd really like to improve when it comes to voice acting. I'd like to try some things out of my comfort zone. Because in any scenario in the future where I'm good enough to be casted to something cool, right? I'd like to avoid being typecasted. I think having one thing you're really good at is excellent, but I want to have a bunch of things I'm decent at. You know what I mean? That's how I like to live. What about musicals? I actually considered that at one point. Because I love to sing and I love to sing live, but when I think about, when I think about the context of a concert versus a musical and everything that goes into both, I think concerts appeal to me a lot more. I do love to watch and listen to musicals though. They're very fun. Jack of all trades. Yeah. I know people say that the complete phrase is jack of all trades, but master of none as like a bad thing. But for me, I think it's a very good thing to be a jack of all trades. There's this one phrase, I think I've shared this with you once before, but there's this phrase I read somewhere at one point in the past where it was like, among the engineers, I am the best painter, and among the painters, I'm the best engineer, right? Like, you may not be the best painter in the room because, you know, you do painting alongside engineering and a bunch of other stuff, but you're way better at engineering than those other painters, and vice versa with the engineers, right? Of course, I'm not a painter or an engineer, but that's the way I like to live my life. I think our mission with life, you know, we're born without purpose and without reason, but a really good mission that anybody can assume is just to expose themselves to as much of the world as they can, to as many different people, as many different ideas, as many different like musical approaches, artistic approaches, as many different foods as you can, as many different like physical locations, geographies, etc. I think there's so much in this world, and exposing yourself to everything is really, really fulfilling, in my opinion. If you're the type that really gets hard on yourself and has a really perfectionist mindset, I get it. I've been there, and I'm still there with a lot of things. So that can make it really, really difficult to enjoy being an amateur. But I think the experience of being an amateur is honestly really beautiful. And if you really get into it, like into the really nitty-gritty, do you know what the word amateur actually means? Like the literal etymological meaning of the word? Because in practice, an amateur is just someone who's like a hobbyist, someone who's casual, right? It's often derogatory. The word amateur is often used to discredit someone and, you know, say that they're not a professional or a specialist. But the word amateur, let's break this apart, right? Two parts, ama and tour. T-E-U-R is one who does, right? Like, for example, an entrepreneur, or like E-U-R in general is like one who does. Anything like that. It's going to describe a person who does the thing that the root describes, right? Ama means love. So an amateur is somebody who does something purely because they love to do it. And I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, ama equals love. I think it's a really, really beautiful experience to do something purely for the love of it. So I am very proud to call myself an amateur, even if it's usually derogatory, even if it's usually meant to be kind of mean or insulting. The actual, like, original meaning of the word is simply just someone who does it because they like it. Yeah, someone who's passionate. A passion, like a passion, a work of passion. I guess that's the word. This writing is high-key fire. His writing is fire? Wait, his writing is fire? Made me think of Shu Senpai. I don't know how often he says this on stream lately, but he said it multiple times in each VC I've been in with him lately. I think that's one of his, because, you know, he picks up and puts down meme catchphrases a lot. That's his fixation lately, is his writing is fire? Wait. Yeah, Blackbeard with the pen, or like the like with the fire everywhere. Funny. I'm a Kaelix. You're too sweet. You're too sweet. I'm a Debonairs. Too sweet. Oh my goodness, I've got so much that I want to spoil and tease you with. I've got so much I want to expose early, but I gotta wait. But there's some cool stuff coming. There's some cool stuff coming that I almost spoiled to you just now. It's like a Herculean effort to hold back secrets that are mine to keep. If it's somebody else's secret, I'm a master at keeping it, as long as they've told me it's a secret. But if it's just my secret that I'm keeping for myself, I just tell everything. I can't do it. You have free will. Yeah, and I also have self-control. I need to practice self-control. I need to have discipline. It'll be so much more exciting if I tell you at the right time. All right, topic change. Sorry, I'm too weak. I'm the worst when it's like an exciting event is approaching. I just have to talk about it. I can't hold it in. Topic change. What have you been up to lately? What has happened in your life this last week that I haven't heard about? I know I ask this question a lot, but you know, I try to keep up. It's really difficult. It's really difficult to keep up for me in general with anybody, but I'd love to hear. Did you have any epic wins recently? Did you accomplish anything? Maybe you like passed a difficult test or got a cool promotion or anything like that? Oh, she noticed my bingo? Yeah, of course. Of course, I'm always on Twitter. That's my sin of choice. If it exists and it gets past a few likes, so I've gotten tweets that have no likes even. There's a decent chance that I'll see it at some point. I don't know if that's good or bad knowledge. I realize I talked about this a bit much, but vended at an Artist Alley event this weekend. Oh, that's so exciting! Ah, my goodness. I imagine you're probably pooped. Yeah, exhausted. I don't know. Just going to a convention poops me, so I cannot imagine doing convention customer service. It's a nightmare. I hope you had fun, though. I hope you had fun. Produce a concert? How cool! How cool. What kind of production? Maybe like was it like the literal role of producer, or was it more behind the scenes work related to tech and stuff maybe? I wonder. I've always been really interested. That's where Frio really specializes, is the behind the scenes stuff for preparing a concert. He loves the audio technology. I've always been more about the stuff that actually happens on stage, so it's kind of mystifying to me. Went to a garden. Oh, that sounds really nice. I've really wanted to visit some more gardens. I've only been to like a couple, like public gardens that are specifically for you to go and just chill there. I'd really like to go to more. It's really relaxing, and I find it really, really pretty as well. I really love flowers in general, so it makes me really happy to see them in like a really cultivated, curated way, like deliberately meant to be pretty. It's like it maximizes their natural beauty. Met an exhibiting artist at my workplace. Oh, that's so exciting! Was it an artist you were familiar with, maybe? I'm sick, but I powered through it. Oh, you're being so brave about it. Hope you feel better very, very soon. It's always really rough to feel sick. I hope it's nothing too serious, and I hope you can rest up, get some good rest. Don't let me distract you too much if it becomes too hard to keep up. And make sure you drink a lot of water, okay? As much as you think you can without getting even more sick, because it's really important to stay hydrated when you're sweating something out. You lose a lot of your fluids that way. All right, let's see. Getting back into routine, that's important too. And that is a big deal, like making any progress. I think keeping to a routine after it's established is easy. Anybody can do that. But starting a routine, oh my goodness, that's too much to ask of anybody. It's so difficult. Seeing the new Miku movie, oh, that's so exciting. I've been so curious about it. I wonder if I'll be able to see it while it's still in theaters. I feel like that's probably going to fall into, when it comes to most new movies that are out in theaters, I generally just opt to watch them on digital, because that way I can watch with all my friends. But there was actually an opportunity for us to watch the Miku movie at one point together, I think, but yeah, no, we didn't end up watching it together. So I'm very curious about how good it is. I'm very curious about how they represent the characters. Yeah. I'm really curious. I want to see if I can find a screening sometime soon, maybe. April 17th to 20th. Oh, I've got 3 days. All right, I'm gonna lock in. Maybe I can find an opening. Let's see, through the 20th. Maybe I could do Sunday. Yeah, maybe I could do Sunday the 20th. Maybe before the Breath of the Wild stream. Ah, man. Had a birthday party. It was LPS theme, so everyone dressed up. Is LPS what is that? Is that Littlest Pet Shop? That's really cute. I don't know much of anything about that, but I had a friend in school who really, really loved those and collected them. Aced a job interview. Let's go! Let's go! I love to see that. Interviews are so scary. Interviews are the scariest thing ever. Acing one is so cool. You're so cool for that. Let's see. What else have you done? Oh, you're watching it on Sunday? Have fun. Have a nice time. Excited for you. I might get a little FOMO, but I won't be left out for long. The moment it hits digital, it's mine for sure. You made a cake? Oh, that's so good. I really respect people who can bake. I was mentioning at the start of the stream, I really suck at baking. I think theoretically, baking is one of the easier things to do. Because, you know, you can just follow the instructions to a T. And with a lot of things, that's easy for me if it's written down really clearly, but it's the remembering to go back that I fumble at. If I had someone else there that was responsible for just taking it out of the oven at the right time, oh my goodness, I'd make something beautiful. I would follow the recipe so exactly. I'm so good at like matching the level to the spoon and stuff like that. Yeah, me too. It's a science I cannot understand. Woke up with minimal tummy issues. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm so sorry that you felt bad before. Hearing so many people planning trips to Japan is so... the FOMO. I want to go. I want to go again. I want to go again. I need to go again. I need the revenge trip now. There's so much I missed out on. So much I want to do with my boys. I wonder when we can plan that. I think things are pretty busy for now, and will probably remain pretty busy for a bit. But I think once we've all decidedly settled into this new gig, you know, and once things are chill and just kind of slowing down, I think that'll be a good time to start planning stuff. Yeah, honestly, we should probably start planning now in that case. That way it could be like really well optimized. I think in general, the sooner you plan, the better it goes. Please come again. I really want to. Hoshi. Hand cam when? I have talked about this before, but I will say, because I saw a few people saying today, I'm not personally interested in hand cams, but you'll see one someday, maybe. Maybe. We'll work up to it. I don't feel like getting all the gear I need to make it right now, and I don't know. It's just not the type of content I'm personally interested in. But maybe. It's like I don't mind to do it. It's just that I don't want to do it, you know? Mata Nihon kite ne. I'd like to go. I'd like to go again. My dear Kaelix, I've been awake for 30 hours now, and you look like an angel. Good night. Hope we meet in my dreams. Holy moly, 30 hours? 30 hours? Go to sleep. So poetic, by the way. What the heck? Go to sleep. Please never, ever sacrifice your sleep like this for anybody. Not me, not nobody. That's so dangerous. Sleep is very, very, very important, okay? You gotta listen to my new Kohai. He talks about that. Sleep is super important. If you don't sleep, you can't do much of anything. Sleep is what powers your body. You know, it's like a toy without any batteries in it. It's like if you don't put batteries in the TV remote, it's not going to operate the TV. You're not going to be able to switch any channels. You're going to be stuck on the same channel. You might not even be able to turn it on. It might be one of these... I hate this so much, by the way. I don't know if I've complained about this. I hate this phenomenon. TVs not having buttons anymore. It might be a TV that was made within the last 10 years, and it might not have any buttons on it. So if you don't have batteries for your remote, you can't watch TV. So you got to charge your batteries. You got to put new batteries in, and you do that by sleeping. Sleeping and eating. And then the best way to optimize both of those two is also to get some good physical activity, some sunlight. Yeah, those are the two biggest essentials, like the bare minimum. If you can't do much anything else, at least eat properly and sleep properly. It's very, very important. Yeah, I hate the button erasure. It's just so frustrating. They have on the back or under sometimes, but the really new ones don't. They expect you to go fully wireless. The one that we have now, I think we got it 3 or 4 years ago now, and it does not have any buttons on it. You have to use the remote to turn it on. There's not a single button. I've inspected every inch of this TV. There's not even a really unnoticeable tiny one. I literally, like, before we even installed it properly, put it up on the little mount that we got for it, I checked everything. I thoroughly inspected it. I had it on the ground, turned over and everything. Not a single button. I even Googled the model. I Googled the model number to see if it had buttons that I just wasn't noticing. No buttons. Full wireless. I hate it so bad. Yeah, if you lose the remote, then you got to download an app on your phone, which is what they want you to do. And half of the apps have ads and stuff so that they can make more money. Shame on them for making money. No, I'm just kidding. It's just the modern age. It's the modern age. I respect it in a lot of ways because on one hand, it's very, very convenient. But even if I am a very, you know, I'm a child of the modern age in most ways, I will always prefer analog when it comes to just physically pushing a button and seeing something happen. That's how it feels like it should be in my brain. And I was also raised a little bit behind when it came to technology. I was raised on older stuff. I had older movies, older devices. I think the most modern thing I had was the Nintendo Wii. Oh my goodness. And even that, still analog, right? In a way. Yeah, it's analog because it has the power button and the eject button. And then even though the Wii remote, like the Wiimote is wireless, it's still got buttons on it, right? Unk, no, I'm not Unk. How many times do I have to tell you this? I'm not Unk. I'm I'm in my prime. Come on. CDs come back. I do love analog, but I don't know about CDs. I think I like... This is one thing I like about the modern age. I like just downloading things. It's so convenient. Because I'm good at setting a place for things, but I still lose things a lot. Or maybe it's my siblings that lose things. I just find that a lot of the discs that we had in our collection just would randomly disappear sometimes. And they'd never reappear. So I like that when you download something, it's not gonna get lost, you know? Are you implying unks are no longer in their prime? You know what? Shame on me for being reductive. I still prefer CDs. There is something very charming about them. Yeah, but I do like the convenience of not needing to use them. But also, I love a physical collection, so maybe they're not too bad. For example, I would be devastated if the Nintendo Switch 2 did not have cartridge games to put in. Like, if the Nintendo Switch 2 was download only, I'd crash out so bad. I would be devastated. That would be the end of the world for me. I need you to understand how bad that would be. That would be the most unthinkable devastation ever for me. For a Nintendo console to become download only, I couldn't do it. It is though? Don't tell me this. Is it? Is the Nintendo Switch 2 download only? Did I miss something in that direct? Oh, you scared me so bad. You scared me so bad. You know the physical cartridges will still make you download. Yeah, but that's not the problem for me. I just like to physically see my collection grow in real life. I have so many little red boxes for the Nintendo Switch, like the first one. Genuinely, you know what? I'm going to be right back. I'm going to count it for you. I'm going to count. I've spent so much of my money. Genuinely, the majority of my own spending money has gone towards these games. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to count them for you, okay? I'm going to tell you how big my collection is. I'll be right back. You won't hear me. I've learned that when I walk away, you can't hear me, so. Okay, hold on here. In fact, I'm actually gonna. I'll be right back. I actually have my collection right over here. I brought it with. I brought it. I brought it with me. I brought it with me in the picnic basket. All right, it'll give me just a minute. 1, 2, 5, 7, 12. 29. I have 29 of them. That's so many. That is so many, and it feels so good to have to me. It is my proudest thing in the whole world. I'm so proud to have this many. And there are so many more. It could be way bigger. Like a true fan would have like 50. I'm just a brokey. Yeah, I got so many, and it makes me feel like a dragon sitting on a pile of gold. Uneven number. Yeah, I gotta add one. Maybe I'll get the new, I say new, but it's been out for a bit now, but the newest Mario Party, Jamboree. I don't have that one. I've got the 2 other Mario Parties on the Switch, but I don't have Jamboree. Yeah, I need one more. Brought all of it to the picnic? Yeah, what if we want to play a game? I got my Switch in the basket. I didn't know which one you'd like, so I just brought them all. Favorite Mario Party game? I really liked the one before Jamboree. Was it called Superstars? I liked that one. But I also... The one before that had a lot of issues with it that people did not like as much, but I loved the one before that, the first one on the Switch, because you can play as Diddy Kong. I need Diddy Kong to become an essential character to the Mario franchise. I know that... Okay, listen. I know that Donkey Kong is a Mario character, and that Diddy Kong is a Donkey Kong character, not a Mario character. I need them to be a package deal. Like, don't separate them. I need Diddy Kong in every single game. I thought he is. Is he in Jamboree? I don't think he is. Or like Mario Kart. I'm going to be so we don't know the whole roster yet, but I'm going to be so devastated if the new Mario Kart drops and we've got freaking Inky Blinky or whatever he's called, the squid or the crab, but we don't have Diddy Kong. I'll be so devastated. I will be so devastated. I need Diddy Kong to be an essential Mario character. I need him in every Mario game ever. I don't think so, but he's probably in the new one. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. I need you to know I bought the DLC for Mario Kart DX, Mario Kart 8 DX on the Switch. I bought that DLC. It comes with so many things. It comes with a ton of cool characters. It comes with a whole new row, 2 new rows actually, 2 full rows of new Grand Prix with maps from other games. I think it, correct me if I'm wrong, it's every single map from the previous games, isn't it? Or is that wrong? Plus maps from, like, themed around different places in the world, different famous cities, tourist destinations. It's got so many. It's got so many of them. I didn't buy it for a single thing other than Diddy Kong. He's the only reason I bought it. He is the one reason I got that DLC. I just wanted to play as Diddy Kong. That's all I wanted. Like the Pac-Man ghost. What is it? Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde, right? Hold on. Yeah, Inky, Binky, Inky. Okay, hold on. Inky, Blinky. I almost said Plinky. Inky, Blinky, Pinky, Clyde. Those guys. Yeah, they have names. They have names, and it matches them. They each have their own name. Binky. like the thing that you give to babies, like a pacifier. This is a tongue twister. Not for the average Joe, but for Kaelix, anything is. The Teletubbies. What are they again? Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe, right? I saw the goofiest thing. They drew By the Beat as the Tinky Winkies, the Teletubbies. Yeah, Clyde's the orange one. I like that. I love a name structure where it's like it's a group and all but one of them have a rhyme or a structure to it. And then there's the outlier. I love that so much. And then bonus points if the outlier is just a big dummy who doesn't know where he is or doesn't know that he exists. I love that so much. The Tinky Winkies. Yeah, that's what they're called, right? Larry. You remember Boobas? I talked about that. I remember Boobas, but nobody else does. I remember Booba. I can't say I ever watched it, but you know, it was a marketing sensation. You saw Booba toys everywhere. Booba was like Booba was the moment. Booba was everywhere. Yeah, they are kind of weird. Who? You don't know Booba? Yeah, the kids show. The kids show where it's like I think they're aliens. Okay. You know, like the baby stimulation videos on YouTube where it's like little dancing berries and fruits and it's got samba music or whatever, where it's literally, it only exists to give something colorful for a baby with developing sight to watch and be entertained by. That's what Booba was. Booba was the baby sensory video of the television era. Booba was just a bunch of bouncing, colorful blob creatures. I think they were just men in costumes, or maybe they were puppets. I don't know. I never watched it. Yeah. No, they were humongous. They were everything. Yeah, they look like colorful babies in oversized inflatable sweaters. They kind of do. They kind of do. It looks like it would be really, like, it'd feel really nice to squeeze one in your, like if they're human sized. I don't know how big they are in canon, but I would love to meet a Booba that is my height and just like sink into its belly. You know what I mean? And just squeeze as hard as I could. That'd feel so nice. They're a little scary. What? Hold on. Maybe I'm just not remembering them right. Booba. No, they're cute. This isn't scary. They're so cute. They're little creatures. They got little turtlenecks and baby eyes. Okay, actually, I just saw like an actual screenshot from the way it looked on television, and that is kind of scary. They are a little spooky. Yeah, okay, I'll give that to you. Yeah, these are terrifying. Holy moly, what? What? These are scary. Why did they show this to kids? These are scary. What is that? These were not so scary in my memory. Maybe it's because I never watched. Wonder what the mouth looks like too. Yeah, like Like if you pull down the turtleneck, do you think you'd see like fangs? That's someone's baby you're insulting. Goofy. Somebody come get your kid in that case. Very sorry to these kids. Oh my goodness. That is terrifying. What the heck? Yeah, that's true. Kids do not have the same sense of scary. I think what makes these scary is that they enter the uncanny valley, right? That weird gray area of looking machine versus looking lifelike, like organic. It's kind of uncomfortable to most adults to have that, but to kids, it's just like a bunch of blobs of color making funny noises and dancing to cool music. Scared of the sun kid? Oh, and Teletubbies? I kind of like that. I kind of like the sun kid that's just like looking down on them, judging them, and laughing at them every day. I kind of wish that was my job. You know what I mean? Just be up in the sky and look down on everybody. Just judge the whole world. And whenever they make mistakes, I'll just go, ha 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 ha. And then I just clock out for the night. Always get nights off. You already do that. What do you mean? Huh? You want to be a bird? I kind of would like to be a bird, even just for a day. I wonder what it feels like to truly fly. I've been in an airplane before, but like, how would it feel to fly with your body, you know? I guess the closest thing we have would be like gliding people, gliders, where they'll go up to a high mountain or something, and they'll get that cool device up on their shoulders, or whatever they do, and then they just drift like that. Yeah, parasailing, paragliders. Do you want to try that? I'd love to try it sometime. I want to try everything almost. I want to try every single thing this world has to offer, but it's so dangerous. Yeah. If I did it, I think I'd have to pick an area that's really popular for it and that has a high return rate, right? A high, like very low risk. And I'd have to have somebody there with me, maybe. I think there are some situations where you can do an extra large one and have someone who's more experienced actually work it, and then you're just there strapped in. Kind of like a roller coaster almost. Yeah, high return rate, right? Like an area where people don't just disappear is what I mean. You know what I mean? That's the most delicate way I can put it. You know, people do dangerous things and then they disappear. But I think most people that do these dangerous things, like going into caves and stuff like that, they accept that reality when they do it, and that's why they like it. No skydiving because it's 50-50. I think I'd like to try skydiving. I think I could do that. Is it 50-50? Is there no like really likely safe way to do that? I'll never go caving though. I will never go caving. I'm never doing that one. I read Ted the Caver when I was a kid, and that one stayed with me forever. I'm never going caving. I will never go caving. We are not going spelunking. You are not gonna catch me in a cave. Not me. Not Kaelix. That's not for me. Bungee jumping, I think that would be the safest of all these like really high risk activities. I'd really like to try bungee jumping. Do you like roller coasters? I've been on some before. I liked them, but not enough to do it again. Do you know what I mean? It was so overwhelming. It was so overwhelming. Oh my goodness. And the most intense, like highly scored, like, oh, this is the most intense ride ever that I've been on. The highest one for that. It was immediately after filling up on a ton of pizza. Because I went with a group. And not everybody was willing to finish their pizza. And I hate wasting food. So if people have leftovers and they're not weird about it, I will take their leftovers and eat them. I hate to leave leftovers. I hate it so bad, especially at like an amusement park, because everything is a billion times more expensive then. Don't tell me. No, thankfully that didn't happen. What you think happened, it did not end up like that, but I was really close. I was really close to losing my lunch and their lunch as well. but no, I kept it in the end. I kept it in the end, but it was a tough fight. It was a really, really tough fight. It was the toughest fight of my life. And I kept the lunch. I'm too stubborn about losing lunch. I'm too stubborn about wasting food. I hate food waste. I hate waste in general. It stresses me out. I think if we have everything we need, then it should be used. You know, I'd like to go to a like a bigger amusement park. The one I've been to is kind of small compared to what people are used to. Like I've never been to Disney. I've never been to Disney, any of the Disney theme parks or any of the really well-known ones, Orlando, anything like that. I'd like to go to a proper one someday. With the boys, maybe. I know a bunch of my senpai have had theme park adventures, so maybe we could join in. Does that mean you eat bread and pizza crust? Yes. Yes, whenever I have pizza, I eat the crust before moving on to the next slice. I'm very stubborn about that. And when I'm with my siblings, I hold back when I'm around friends, of course. I'm not going to be that freaky. I'm not going to be that mean, but with my siblings, I impose the strict rule on them as well. They have to finish their crust before they go on to the next slice. You have to eat all the whole thing. You have to eat the whole thing. It's important. Anything else is waste. And if you don't, there's not as much to go around. Because crust actually also fills you up. And because there's a lot of us as well, it's especially important to do it for me and my siblings. We got the crust police over here. But it's good. It's good. Okay, listen here. Here's my strat for making crust really good, all right? Crust by itself, yeah, okay, it's kind of bland. There's nothing to that. It's just crust. There's no sauce or anything. Riddle me this. Have you ever tried dipping crust into marinara sauce? Into some nice ragu? Some tomato sauce? Have you ever tried that? You should give that a try. Because that makes it into a really yummy breadstick, my friend. That's what I like to do. I'll have pizza on my plate, and then I'll have a small little serving bowl of like tomato sauce. Not ketchup, of course, but like marinara. And then I'll finish the slice, and then I'll dip the crust into the sauce, and that's what I have. Another really good one, for example, one of my favorite pizza chains, I think it's Papa John's that does this. They'll sometimes, I think maybe even always, they'll send along a little container of garlic sauce. That's also really, really, really good with crust. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, like garlic butter. It's so yummy. Oh, you're making me want pizza. I can't order that right now. I've got too many leftovers. Don't make me. I want pizza. I'm gonna have to treat myself to some pizza soon. Filled crust. Stuffed crust is really, really good, right? When they put cheese in it, that's delicious. Because then you've just got a cheese stick at the end of your pizza slice. But I think even if it's just a regular crust, because that's what you're gonna get a lot of the time, I think you should still eat it. I think it's a good habit to have. And it leaves more for leftovers if you can't eat as much. Which you shouldn't be able to because, you know, your stomach's now getting filled with crusts. It's really good. Another way to work around it, if you really struggle with the blandness of it, this is something I do sometimes, is I'll eat almost the whole slice, but I'll stop about 1 centimeter to 1 inch towards the crust, right? So there's still some pizza left, and then I fold it over like a roll, you know? Like a roll cake almost. And that way there's a little sauce and cheese with every bite of crust. So it's just like a slightly higher crust to sauce ratio than you get from the rest, right? That's another really good strategy. Yeah, like a calzone, you see? Or like almost like a stromboli. Yeah. It's really, really good. That's how I like to eat it. I think eating the crust is a good and based habit. But also, I understand that, you know, you shouldn't force yourself to do things you don't like. And if you don't like crust, there's, you know, you don't have to eat it. I respect that too. But I will be looking at you. I will never pressure a friend to eat the crust, but when they put it down, I'm staring at them like this. I won't say anything, but I'm looking. The tea's especially nice today. I don't think I did anything different, but it tasted a little bit better than usual. Yeah, no pressure. You can just do whatever you like to do. You know what? I know that I care a lot about food waste, but I don't think it's very reasonable for me to impose my values on other people.
You can just, you know, you don't have to touch the crust. You can just eat the pizza. Too goofy. Please get her some brown contacts. I'm so scared. That's actually scary. Is it? Is it scary? I don't think it's scary. I think it's totally reasonable. There's something unsettling about it. What? Good heavens. Please, what? Hypnotizing? That's what I'd like to hear. You know, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I still respect you if you don't like to eat your crust. I have some food things that I don't like to eat as well. Nothing quite the same. I have kind of like a strict policy for myself of finishing meals, but there are foods that I don't like, so I figure it's the same. Without the glasses, you know I have demand avoidance. You gotta wait for that to happen naturally. But I guess just this once, you know, you are so needy. The way you are constantly asking me to take off my glasses. Do you not like my glasses? Huh? You don't like my glasses? I think my glasses are really cool. I'll have you know. You know that I really love my glasses, and they make me so confident. You don't like my glasses? Huh? You don't like my glasses? Or do you just not like me? Huh? You're so goofy. You are so silly sometimes. Funny. Funny. I'm glad you're having fun. Covers your face? No, I think they accentuate my face, don't they? They make my eyes pop. I also need them to see, so I can't see without my glasses, and I hate wearing contacts. They're so uncomfortable to take out and to put in, and they take so long for me. I wore contacts for a whole month. A whole month. I did it every day for a month. I couldn't do it. I just could not keep up with it. It took me so long every morning to put them in, and so long at night. And sometimes I would forget that I was wearing them, and I'd fall asleep with them in. And then I'd wake up with a headache, and then I have to try even harder to get them out. I hate it. I hate contacts. They're so uncomfortable. You will not catch me in contacts. So maybe if there's like a really important gig that calls for it, my glasses just won't fly for that costume, then I guess maybe, but you know, I like my glasses. Why would you sleep with them in? Because I'm sleepy and I forget. I'm very forgetful. You know, I can only see what's right in front of me, and those are, I guess, technically the most closest, they're like the closest thing ever in that scenario, but you know, when you're wearing them for long enough, you kind of forget that they're in there. And also, when I wore them for that month, it was actually when I this is the classic Kaelix Debonair, when I was still a student. This is basically my one time at band camp stories, right? But when I was still a student, that was when I wore them. I tried to wear them like junior or senior year of high school. And so I would get home really underslept. I'd be exhausted, and I'd go straight to bed wearing all my outdoor clothes. I wouldn't even take my pants off. I'd be going to bed wearing pants. Can you imagine? So I forget that the contacts were in there. Yeah, back in my day. This was not that long ago. I say it like it was 10 billion years ago. Oh my goodness. Trying to look cool with contacts? I wasn't trying to look cool. I just thought that it might be easier. And I thought that, I don't know. Because I like my glasses. I've always liked wearing glasses. I think they're a cool accessory. I just thought that it might be cool to pretend that I wake up in the morning and just have good eyesight. That's what I'm most jealous of. I get envy and FOMO for a lot of things. Nothing more so than people who just wake up in the morning and see everything perfectly. I hope you know that you're God's favorite. Do you know that? You are liked by the universe more than the rest of us.
And I like glasses. I think they're cool. And I always like to, anytime I would go to the optometrist to adjust my prescription would always be just slightly different, so I could still wear my older ones if I wanted to. So I always like to get a new frame every time. And so I've got a collection of some frames. I've said it before, but I'd like to show you some other glasses I have sometime, maybe. Do you want to try LASIK? I'm not sure. I've thought about it, and I think it has a really high success rate, but I don't know if it's for me. I don't know. I don't think I need it. I'm content with glasses. I think I'd rather just keep wearing glasses personally. If it came down to something like that, I'd rather just have been born without needing them. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's not the case for me. Yeah, LASIK means no cool glasses. I wouldn't get to wear them anymore. Usually comes back even after LASIK. Yeah, I don't think LASIK is permanent for everybody. Or even for most people. Magnetic glass frames. Oh, I think I saw that. I got a commercial for that at one point. Like, you have the base frame, and then you've got little accessories that go on top of them, and they click like a magnet. I was curious about that. I thought about that. That'd be really, really cool, because, you know, I love to accessorize. I think glasses are not just like something you need. They're something you can choose to wear for like a stylistic choice, because it's fashionable. So being able to very easily change the color on the front would be very, very convenient. I heard someone in NIJISANJI uses glass contacts for gradual correction. Oh, I see. I don't know if it's the same thing, but I had, for the longest time with my glasses prescription, I actually had prisms that were put in my glasses. I don't have them, or no, I have slight prism now, but it's really, really small compared to before. But I had prisms that were put into them because my eyes were also like, they would look in slightly different directions when I was really little. So I had to correct that over time. So I started with really, really strong prisms. Because otherwise, if I wasn't wearing my glasses and I wasn't actively focusing, my eyes would drift. Not like a lazy eye, but similar to a lazy eye. You know what I mean? They'd drift away from each other. And so because of the prisms, it would alter the angle of everything you see. And by wearing them a lot, now my eyes don't do that anymore when I don't wear my glasses. Use both of your eyes. Yeah, it was kind of like that. It was kind of like that when I was a little kid. Yeah, glasses can do that. It is a feature you can get if you need them. Not everybody needs them though. I think it's less common, but that's how they correct things like that. If your eyes can be corrected in that way, they'll put prisms that are not the same. So one eye had a different one than the other, different concentration, and they were specifically made to gradually point them towards the center. Yeah, the PDLA video. Optometry is very cool. I'm not super knowledgeable, but that was like when I was thinking of going into any medical field, that was the one I was most interested in. I don't know. I'm not built for the medical industry, but also I feel like I could kind of ball if my job was to be like, all right, 1 or 2. 1 or 2. All right, is 2 better than 3? 2 or 3? All right, now I want you to tell me 1 or 3. Which of these is better? I feel like I could do that, you know? Oh, the patching era? I never had to do that, thankfully. I don't know if I could have handled that when I was a kid. I was so, you know, I'm a little picky about texture and stuff now, and like clothes and stuff. But it was 10 billion times worse when I was a kid. I would not wear something uncomfortable for fashion or for any like medical need. It was so rough. I could not do it. I don't think I could have done that. They may have even tried it and I just forgot about it because I wouldn't do it even. But I don't remember ever doing that. Voice pack when? Voice pack now. Voice pack now. Currently available till the end of the month. Feel free to check it out. It is available through the NIJISANJI store. It's my first one though. Still learning. By the way, thank you to everybody who's used the hashtag KSMR. The ASMR feedback, not the ASMR, the voice pack feedback tag. I try to check that every few days. It makes me really happy to see what you've liked about it. Cleared my skin and my crops are flourishing. I'm glad you liked it. I worried it might not be, because I feel like the standard for voice packs is very, very heavy romantic, but I feel like I'm not very experienced. I'm not experienced enough to pull that off. So I like to just act as myself in these situations. So I hope that you can enjoy it, even if that's the expectation that you have for these. I'm not as knowledgeable as I'd like to be. EX was a ride. Yeah, I say I like to as if I've done it more than once already, but in general, for future voice packs, you can expect something similar. If I participate in the EX, you can expect it to be silly in some way. It might be a twist ending that totally ruins the main voice. It could be just a cute little silly thing that's just funny in a subtle way, but I like for the EX to be funny. To kind of wrap it up as a post-credit scene, you know what I mean? Like, you know when you go to the movies and you stay at the end after all the credits are done, and then you see the goofiest little thing from a minor background character that showed up 2 seconds earlier on? Yeah, it's like that. That's what the EX is to me. It's like a little funny blooper bonus. I may derail from it in the future, though. For example, something I kind of regret with this one is that it was the morning voice, right? So for the EX, I could have just made an actual alarm for you to use. I should have done that, right? I wish I would have done that. I didn't think of it when I was writing it. So yeah, you may see things like that in the future. If there's a voice pack that really calls for something like that, that would be really good for like a functional reason. I may derail from that. And if I ever do, I'll let you know. Likewise, I've mentioned this as well, but I'll also let you know if I ever derail from like the canon, right? From just me as Kaelix Debonair. Because there are some out there in the future where it'll be like an alternate universe situation. I'd like to adjust to match the pack and call it like a what if episode. So I'll let you know if it's canon or if it's not canon whenever one drops as well. Yeah, the optometrist voice pack where it's just it'll be 7 minutes of me going, all right, 3 or 4? All right, is 4 better than 5? It's been a minute, but is 5 better than 1? All right, can you read these letters from top to bottom for me? Left to right, top to bottom, start at the second row. You know what I mean? I love going to the optometrist. My optometrist... Can I embarrass myself for a minute? She had the most gorgeous voice ever. I don't have the same one anymore, and it's been a while since I've gone, actually. I haven't needed a new prescription, but she had like a really deep voice, and it was so relaxing. Oh my goodness. It was especially rough going to her as a teen, because that's when you're like 10 times more embarrassed by anything attractive. She had the most hypnotic low voice ever, and it was like really soft and breathy. Oh my god. Oh. You like deep voices? I like deep voices. Yeah, I like deep voices in anybody, but I especially like I really love deep voices in feminine people and higher voices in masculine people. I think those are especially charming because it's a step away from what you expect, right? Can you imitate it? It was kind of like it's similar to what I'm doing, but not quite. That's honestly, she may just be an outlier. That might not actually be what it's like to go to the optometrist, but because she was my optometrist, that's what it's like to me, right? But she'd be like, okay, can you read down this line for me? All right, so this next one, is this hard to read? Can you do that? Like, it was very like that. It was so nice. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm the type that gets really into voices as well, just in general, so I'm just particularly vulnerable to a really nice deep voice. Yeah. Needless to say, it's just as potent and lethal when it's like a man with a really deep voice. Someone really masculine. When you got the testosterone voice. Oh my goodness. Especially for me, because I feel like I've got the squeaky clown voice. That's how I talk. So there's almost like, in addition to just being swooned, right? There's also like a respect for it. Almost an envy for it, even. Of someone who has that really deep, you know what I mean? Yeah, me and my favorite seiyus, there's a lot to that, okay? Your voice is also good. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I need to be more careful. I feel like I come off as like I'm baiting for compliments. I'm not fishing, I promise. I'm not fishing for praise, I promise. Yeah, no, that is genuinely how I think I sound. And it's not even in a bad way. I think it can be a very entertaining voice to have. I think it makes me very fun and cool. But I don't think it's particularly attractive in that way. You know what I mean? I don't think I have an ASM artist's voice. I have a comedian's voice. And I like that I have that voice personally. We like to compliment you. Ah, okay. I guess I'll let it slide. Fish for praise. I'll give it to. Don't say that. Don't say that, because then I'll start doing it on purpose. Oh my goodness. You have an ASMR voice to me? I don't know. I feel like I gotta practice some more. I'd like to get there someday though. Maybe not to the fully like ASMR RP level, but I'd like to get to the point where I can confidently say that my voice is really relaxing to listen to. Like relaxing to me even, which I feel like might be an impossible quest, you know, a fool's errand. Because I feel like no matter who you are, most people do not like the sound of their own voice. However, if they heard somebody else with their voice, they'd think it was a nice voice, right? It's just because it's your voice that you don't like it. Yeah. Looking forward to watching you improve. Thank you so much. I'll continue to do my best to practice off stream. Maybe some practice on stream as well. I don't know. Could you imagine that? Maybe like a stream where I just am in like a booth and I'm just practicing. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe find like a script that's safe for me to use. I wonder. Because a part of it is in your ear. Yeah, your voice sounds different to you, like in your ears, than it does to people around you, or like to a microphone, right? I'm very thankful though. I've reached a point where I do actually like the sound of my voice. I realize that's kind of funny to say out loud about myself, because I don't know if you're familiar. There's also a saying like he just really loves the sound of his own voice. To say it like it's a mean thing to say about someone else, to say that they're really self-centered or pompous or like narcissistic even. But I don't mean it in that way. I've come to reach a point where I do not mind to hear myself talk. You know, I don't feel insecure about my voice anymore. I used to be really insecure about it when I was a kid, or like when I was a teen. In fact, when I was a teen, I would actually deliberately darken my voice a lot because I thought that that's what I should sound like instead. It was kind of like my Frio teaser voice moment. You know what I mean? Where he's like, not by chance, by design. But he actually talks a lot like higher, more neutral. When I was in high school, I would actually talk a lot more like this. And I think to everyone around me, it was noticeably forced, but nobody said anything. I think they noticed maybe, but I can't say. But yeah, that's how I would talk. That's how I would talk on purpose. And it was really unpleasant. And I'm very glad to have reached a point where I don't feel like I have to force myself to do that. Yeah, it's not, well, I wouldn't say it's unsafe because it wasn't strained. It was just forced. You know what I mean? Yeah, if it strains the throat, it's definitely bad and you should not do it. But it was like you know, it was still it was a resting pitch that I could handle and that wouldn't take my voice out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it, because that was when I started taking vocal training really seriously, you know? But yeah, no, it was still forced. It was still something I consciously had to do. So it was more like a mental strain than a vocal strain. Yeah, it wasn't a health issue. It was just a mental issue. I don't know. I used to get clowned on for my, like when I was extra young. I say extra, like think middle school, when the voice is first starting to break. I'd get made fun of sometimes for the the way that I would speak, and I got kind of insecure about it. Yeah, I'm very thankful in adulthood to be very cool about it. So, very proud of that. I'm happy with my voice. That's just puberty. I understand what you're saying, but it wasn't that. Because puberty voice is very like the breaking and stuff. It was not that. It was just that when I had finished, like when my voice had finished breaking, when I got through that phase, the voice that I had in the end was very like, "Hi everybody, my name's Kaelix, and I like The Legend of Zelda." It was kind of like that. I think as I've gotten older, maybe it's mellowed out a bit more. Yeah, SpongeBob core. I really was just like SpongeBob. I don't know. Kids are mean. There are mean kids out there. Sounded like a puppet. Yeah, I was just a little Muppet. Kaelix the Muppet. Middle school is brutal. Kids are like, people talk about high school drama, you know? People are like, oh, high school drama is so petty. It's just like we're in high school again. That's so petty, annoying. Middle school drama is the worst. That's when they haven't learned empathy yet. People don't master empathy until they're tweens, or like late tweens, early teens, I think. When you're like 11, 12, 13, bunched up together and going through the most drastic hormonal development of your entire life, people go for blood. They go for the throat. They're coming for blood. It's sick. They're sick. Kids are sick. They're wicked. They're evil. They do the worst things ever. And then you hit high school and it's like it never happened. You just forget about it. Oh my goodness. No, they did not care. They were wicked. It's kind of the opposite for me though. I went through that earlier. I was a brazen, evil, unempathetic kid in elementary school. And then by middle school, I mastered humanity. That was when I became decent and kind. Yeah, middle schoolers are crazy. Oh my god. I hope never to interact with another middle schooler for the rest of my life. I think they should be allowed to go through that on their own, away from me. And then I can meet them when they're done, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I guess I had my character development a bit early. That was true for a lot of things. I was always like an older soul when I was younger. I would talk to my teachers instead of my classmates, for example. But now it's kind of the opposite, which is really weird to me. It's very interesting. I find that like I'll surround myself with people who are older than me, and I will really, when I'm not around my siblings, I'll lean into the fact that I am younger. Or sometimes even when I'm not the youngest in the room, I'll lean into like the personality of somebody who is younger. And it's not even something I do consciously. I don't know. I don't know if that's too much, if that's TMI, if that's too philosophical or anything, but like, I don't know, it interests me. And I've been really confronting it lately with By the Beat. I see people that will comment on it sometimes. They're like, this guy is not the eldest brother. But I am. It's like I just transform into somebody else when they're around. I don't know. Yeah, I'm the baby here. It's really cathartic though. It feels really, really nice to be like doted on and to not have to look out for everybody else. I still try to look out for people where I can though. Naturally, that's my job, right? I gotta look out for everybody. That's what I've been employed to do. Does it make you feel better to hear comments like that? What, commenting on me not being the eldest brother? I don't feel any kind of way. It's not good or bad. It's more like it just makes me aware of it, right? That's one of the biggest things. I don't know if you hear it often from other livers or from other streamers in general, but I think that's one of the most unique things to being a streamer or a content creator is that people will notice things in your personality that you might not be aware of, or that how do I articulate this? That people in your life might not articulate to you. They might notice it, but they don't talk about it because it might not be polite to say to someone to their face, right? So when there's this separation of, you know, we hang out together here on stream, but then any other space is yours and not mine, right? When it comes to that, it means that people are comfortable saying things, and it's not a bad thing, to be clear. It's not always a bad thing. In fact, there are some things that have made me really, really happy to learn through this, but yeah, it's like I learned things about myself that I wasn't sure about or did not even consider to be true. For example, on a lighter note, an example of this is some of the things that I say on stream a lot. My catchphrases, we could call them. Things that I say often enough to warrant the /ticket tone indicator to mark it as a reference to me. I did not know that I said what as often as I do. And now it's like a stream will pass and I've got to counter minimum 6 times for every stream, right? I did not know I did it that much. I do know, and I've known for years, that I fixate on saying certain things, but that one was not in my mind. That one was not conscious. I did not know about that. I did not know about that. That one was that one was unnoticed by me until like after, I think Mario Kart was the one that really sealed the deal with that one. Yeah. Pause, rewind, play, I will say, is one I'm aware of. That's been one of my catchphrases for a few years now. I don't know. I just like to, if a phrase that I invent or that I hear somewhere catches my attention or makes me smile, it's like a joy button, and I can press that button for free joy, and it makes a conversation spicy and fun for me. My tragedy is that sometimes it does not make it spicy and fun for the other people involved in the conversation, so I have to be a little careful about not repeating things too often. Does it have an origin story? Pause, rewind, play. I don't think it has one, and I think it was one that I just said myself. It's not a reference to anything. But I will say most things you hear me say probably will have an origin story. I'm trying to think. Too much for Elmo? That one has an origin story. I talked about that one, right? Balsamic vinegar? That's a big word for Elmo. Oh, where did it come from? I'll talk about it again really quick. There was this appearance that Elmo, the monster from Sesame Street, he made an appearance on Saturday Night Live or some other nighttime TV show. And they did a cooking segment. And Elmo said, balsamic vinegar? That's a big word for Elmo. Like balsamic vinegar. And thinking about that, I don't know, it just really stayed in my head. So it started as something that I would say whenever I said a word that I didn't think everybody in the room knew. Because another one of my quirks is I'm not always very considerate of whether everybody knows what I'm saying. And that's not to call myself like really smart or anything like that. I don't want to say that I'm smart. I know more words than you, but it's more like I fixate on specific words that are less common sometimes. And I'll use them without thinking about whether everybody knows them. So if I ever said that in the past, I would say, yeah, it's one of my favorite idiosyncrasies about him. That's a big word for Elmo. That's how I would use it originally, right? But then it eventually transformed. It became something new. And it became something that I now use anytime I'm minorly inconvenienced by something. If anything is just a mild bummer or a little difficult, I say, that's a bit much for Elmo. Or that was kind of tough for Elmo, you know? Indubitably, that's a good one. Like, undoubtedly is what that one means. That's a good one. You are like Papa. You lie. Where's this from? That is from Stranger Things. I think season 2, maybe. It's been a long time since I've watched, but that one really stuck with me. Because there's a character in Stranger Things, to not spoil anything in too much detail. You've had time to watch it, but I'll still be merciful here. There is a character in Stranger Things that has not been socialized like a normal person. They have not been around, like they didn't go to school. They didn't have a proper family, so they speak English a little weird. They use prepositions wrong sometimes, and they use pronouns in weird ways as well. And there's this time where someone makes a promise and doesn't keep it, and this character says, "You are like Papa. You lie." And so now whenever people are not being totally honest with me, or whenever I suspect that to be the case, that's when I say that. You are like Papa. I like when you pronounce treasure. That is a reference to Scooby-Doo. I don't know which Scooby-Doo episode or movie it was. I've forgotten by now, but there is a Scooby-Doo episode or movie where Fred, oh my God, I'm so much like Fred in some ways. He's like, hidden treasure. Like he says it like treasure for no reason instead of treasure. And that one really stuck with me. Yeah, see, a lot of them are just references. I'll hear something in a show or a movie or a stream, and it will just really make me happy. So then I start saying it. It just stays in my memory. And he says, treasure. Look, hidden treasure. With an ascot. Oh, I could wear an ascot maybe. I've never worn one before. I don't know exactly how to set them up, but I could learn. I learned a bunch of different ways to tie a tie, like a necktie, at least. I feel like that's kind of similar, right? Filled with educational facts and random memes. I think any human ever is just a collection of information, right? That's what you are. Because you are a brain. You have a body, but you're not a body, all right? You are not your body. You are your brain. You are a brain piloting a fleshy mech. And the brain is basically just a machine made of electrified meat that processes information. So all a human really is at the end of the day is a collection of information. That's all we are. And I just like to share the information that I've collected. Where is the I'm a little guy and it's my birthday come from? I think that was a Tumblr post. To describe that one, I don't remember exactly what it is. It's been years since I saw it, but there was like a Tumblr post or something that reached my Twitter timeline as a screenshot where it's like they were talking about their brother or some friend they have, where he has this game he plays where he goes up to other men, especially intimidating looking men, and he puffs up his chest and like provokes them to fight. He's like, you want some? You want some? Come at me. Like gets them started up, revs them up. And then immediately when the other guy raises his fist, he recoils in fear and goes, no, you can't do it. Please don't hurt me. I'm just a little guy and it's my birthday. I'm a little guy and it's my birthday. Oh, it was her ex. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's where I got that. I just thought that was the funniest vision ever. I find that with Tumblr stories, it's always like, yeah, that definitely happened, right? Like, but even when they're not like verifiably true or believable, I think they're very, very funny all the time. I like to take them at their word value. You know, I like to take them at face value. Take them at face value. Speaking of the way I speak, another thing I do that you may have noticed is that I make a lot of Malaphors. I'm prone to fusing sayings and things together in incorrect ways without realizing it, because to me, I don't always immediately understand what an idiom means. For example, I just learn it through socialization. And so as a result, I mix them up. What the freak is that? A Malaphor? Okay, here's an example of a Malaphor. It's basically when you mix any idioms or figurative speech phrases up. An example would be, you open this can of worms, now lie in it. Or, I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. Or, I don't know. Yeah, things like that. Yeah, Malaphor. That's a big word for Elmo. Yeah, things like that. I think they're fun to do on purpose, but in my case, I just do it by accident. I just do it by accident because I forget what the phrase is as I'm talking, and then I remember after I say it. Or sometimes I don't. I'm gonna have a sip. I got a little bit left. What about the you hate me? What is the origin to that? I've done it for so long. I don't know if there is an origin, but I've done it for like 4 or 5 years minimum. Maybe more. I've done it for a long time. I don't know where I got that from. That might be a Kaelix original even. Yeah, I don't know if it is though. I don't know. I got no clue. I cannot trace that one to its origin. Trauma thing? Absolutely not. It is always a joke. It is always a joke. It is never once and never will be serious. Please never think for a second that I actually feel that way or that I'm actually like trying to bait for that for real. Yeah, no. Not at all. Kind of Miete core. Maybe that's where it came from because I was obsessed with Miete. Maybe that is where it's from actually. Maybe it's an interpolation of that. Maybe it's a derivative in that way. Like maybe I just got so stuck into the mindset of like, you kick my body like the football, you hate me, right? Natural progression. Your heart is unyielding and full of hatred. I think same thing. I think it's derivative of Miss Miete, the cat. The vindictive, dramatic cat. Yeah, like a Victorian child. Oh my goodness. Jail for mother. Jail for mother for 1,000 years. You make me sick. I don't think so. I think that might be a Kaelix original. It's just a thing people say that I picked up. I say Kaelix original, but like I don't think it's a reference to anything in particular, right? I think it's just a phrase that I picked up and stuck with. Illiterate. That one can be credited to Bianca Del Rio. Oh yeah, I gotta address this one now. Because Aya Senpai dropped the bomb that I watched RuPaul's Drag Race. Yup. Saw people freaking out about that on the timeline. Yeah. Yeah, there are a couple from when I still watched. I retroactively, because I was behind, obviously. I watched seasons 1 through 10 around the time when 10 came out. That was when I was first curious about it, I think. I don't remember when it was or how old I was or anything, but I binged a bunch with my friend group. And then I also got really invested in All-Stars, but I was like, I can't do this anymore. The day that Miss Naomi Smalls sent home Manila Luzon. And I'm mad all over again. Oh my God, I was fuming. I was rooting for her. She was doing so great, and she was gonna win. She was gonna win too. Oh my God. And I've not seen a single episode since. Actually, that's a lie. I watched one other season. The only other season I've seen since Manila getting sent home the second time was the all-winter season that had like Jinx Monsoon in it and others. Yeah. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was excellent television, to be clear. And also that was one of the best lip syncs I've ever seen. Naomi on, what is it? Come Rain or Come Shine. Is that what it's called? I'm gonna love you like nobody's loved you. Come rain or come shine. That was a really, really good performance, to be very fair.
I feel like for that performance, she deserves to do whatever she wants, whether it's dirty or not. And you know, life's not fair. Okay. I was so mad. I was so mad. I'm still mad. I'm mad all over again. I'm mad all over again. Which season? I don't remember the number. It's one of the All-Star seasons. Was it 4? Is that the number? It's the one with it had Manila Luzon and Latrice Royale and Naomi Smalls and I can't remember. But yeah, All-Stars 4. Okay. RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars season 4 is what that one was. Yeah, Uki Senpai is that's the person that said that was crazy. Yeah. Do you watch as well? How much do you watch, Uki Senpai? I'm curious. Are you up to date? Do you keep up with it anymore? Like I said, I haven't seen anything since then. I haven't seen any of the new main seasons. I have seen Susie Toot on my TikTok a bunch though. People seem obsessed with Miss Toot. That is the goofiest name ever. Yeah, I don't know anything about the new seasons. Stopped watching since a few seasons ago. I see. I wonder if it's any good anymore. It probably is, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be running. I feel like if it flopped, it wouldn't be around. Yeah, it was very entertaining. I don't know. There's just something about Drag Race that really, it's almost like an alternate universe to me. It feels like I'm looking into a different world almost. It's like I almost want to visit a world where everybody is just dramatic and crazy. You know what I mean? Because they're all so grand in everything they do, and I love like the structure of the games and the challenges, and I love the performances as well. I love when they do music challenges. It's just so fun. It is such good television. I need everybody to try it at least once. You know what? Maybe I'll pick it back up sometime. Yeah, no, I'm out of the loop. I also saw people asking who my favorite was, or who my favorites were. I need you to understand that I recognize that this is the most basic answer conceivable. It is such a mainstream answer, but I've been here since the beginning. I've been here since their beginning, probably, I think. I can't remember for sure, but I've been here for a long time, but I really love Trixie and Katya. I love Miss Trixie Mattel and Miss Yekaterina Petrovna Zamolotchkova. I love them so much. They're so freaking funny. I think they are the only drag queens I keep up with to present. I love them so much. They're so funny. And it has meant so much to me to watch them grow and to see them become like recognized names and to see them get big touring opportunities and stuff. They're so good. They're so, yeah, famous for a reason, right? They deserve it and more. They're so good. They're so good. Watch, yeah, I've seen every episode of, and that's why, when I say they're the only ones I keep up with, I don't watch Drag Race. I don't watch anything else, but I watch every episode of, and sometimes I don't keep up with it, but I sometimes listen to the podcast they have as well. I'll listen to that sometimes. Katya's verse just plays in my head. Yekaterina Petrovna Zamolodchikova. But your dad just calls me Katya. Oh, so good. She's so good. I'm still mad that Tatiana was not in that song, by the way. Tatiana would have destroyed that song. Oh my god. Drag Race makes me mad. Maybe this is why I don't watch anymore. It's so entertaining. It is excellent television. It's everything people want. You want drama from your reality TV. It makes me so mad. They do the most infuriating things ever for the drama, and it makes me sick. I can't take it. Watch a long stream? I don't know about that. Maybe, but probably not. Yeah, Tati being sent home was bad. That was rotten. Twice too, right? Or was it Alyssa that was sent home twice? Oh my god, Alyssa on that verse? Alyssa on that verse would have been insane. That would have been everything. That would have been the dream. That would have been the dream song. That would have been the dream original where everybody gets their rap verse. Oh my goodness. Alyssa Edwards. This is my Alyssa impression. I don't know if you see it, but no, I can't do that. Like the wood block tongue click. I can't do it right. Back rolls. But yeah, sometimes whenever it comes to like to feed it back into where this came from, right? A lot of the things that I like to say are just really potently quotable things that I heard a drag queen say 7 years ago. Oh my goodness. Her name's Ornacia. Yeah,
I think the two biggest ones are illiterate and Liza Minnelli. Lies. What is Drag Race? Oh, you've been in a trip for the last several minutes. I'm so sorry about that. RuPaul's Drag Race is a reality television show where drag performers compete for the title of the best drag queen, or there's a name for it. What do they compete for again? What's the actual title called? It's kind of like Next Top Model, but it's drag queens. I don't remember. I've forgotten what they're actually called. What do you do successfully? Quickly. Yeah, because they're all drag queens, they're all really talented performers. And they tend to be very dramatic and they tend to be very witty. Witty is a really big skill to have. If you perform as an MC for anything, whether it's at a club or at like a music festival or anything, you have to be quick. You have to be a quick drag superstar. Yes, that's what it was. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's what they're competing for. They're competing for that title and also a ton of money. And on top of the money, whether they win or not, competing on the show and getting far out makes you a beloved name. And it makes it so that they can like start touring. They have a bigger career. Like their drag career becomes international if they can participate and do well. So they take it very, very seriously, which also stokes up the drama, right? It is the most, it is such a crazy reality concept. No reality TV show I've ever sampled comes close to what it feels like to watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I think the thing that appealed to me the most, though, more than anything I've described, is just the structure. It's like, of course, it keeps you on your toes, but you know exactly what to expect every episode. Like, the format is exactly the same, and I love that. I love knowing what's going to happen in a way, because it gives me things to look forward to, and I feel like adequately prepared for it. Never understood how important it was, but it's like American Idol. Yeah, think like American Idol or America's Got Talent, but it's specifically for drag performers, like drag queens, drag kings. Have there been any drag kings on the show yet? I'm not too sure. I haven't kept up anymore. But yeah, drag performers. Favorite villain? maybe Miss Boom Boom Gun, Miss Gia Gunn. I think she was pretty good as a villain. What you want to do isn't necessarily what you're gonna do. Oh, wait, not on the show? Like, just a villain in general? Or wait. I think I'm mixing something up. Anyway. Goofy. Favorite Snatch Game from the very last season I watched. It was easily Jinx Monsoon as Judy Garland. Oh my goodness. That was so entertaining. Start your engines. May the best woman. Oh, so good. I need to stretch.
They changed it to drag queen.
Have you listened to RuPaul's songs? Not really.
I've heard the ones that are in the show, and I vaguely remember them, but I never kept up. Yeah, I was invested, but not really. Does that make sense? Like, I was invested when I'm there, but then the moment it's off, I'm like, okay, then it's over. The only ones that I ever kept up with outside of the context and the vacuum of the show were Trixie Mattel and Katia Zamolotchkova. Those are the only ones. Ever seen a drag queen performance in person? Absolutely not. I've never been to a club or anything like that. Aside from the live house that we run, I've never seen anything like that. I kind of like to, though. I feel like it'd be really cool. What would your drag name be? I guess Kaylee Bodacious doesn't count, right? Because she's like her own distinct entity. I don't know. I feel like it has to be really clever. I always like the really stupid and goofy names, like Karen from Finance. I like the really silly ones. I like when it's a pun. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think about it and get back to you. Bob the Drag Queen is good. That is a really good name. Everybody knows it. Everybody remembers it. You see it once and then you'll never forget it.
Just Bob. Yeah, no, I really love I love live music in general. Even if I've not been to that many or like ever a proper concert, I love performing live, so it's just as fun to see other people perform. So I'd really like to see what that's like. I don't know that the club is for me though. In general, I love to have a good time in the live house, but you know, things are a little chill in here. I say in here, we're outside right now, but at our live house, it's not really super high stress. There's not like, it's not pumping music, you know, it's just a chill listening experience. Just vibe out, dance a little bit. But I think clubs can be really loud and jam packed. And I don't know, that's not so much for me. I get a little stressed out. But even so, I'd like to try it sometime. I'd like to see somebody. I feel like it's such a unique space to be in. You know what I mean? Yeah, we have more of a jazz bar vibes. More jazz bar vibes here at By the Beat. It's like I don't know. It's just chill. It's chill. You get to listen to live music, but it's not so pumping that you can't hear everybody around you. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's loud to fill the whole club, but like everybody's talking in a hushed whisper. It's really relaxing, actually. Have you ever been to a club or anything like that, like Nightlife? Are you the type to participate in that? Because again, I don't think it's for me, but I've never done it, so I could actually get there and really enjoy it. Would you recommend it? I'd really like to try it. But I don't know. I've never been. I love rave. Ooh. That's another one I'm curious about, because that's kind of distinct from club culture, but it's still a part of it, right? I know that Zeal, he loves it. He loves raves. He loves DJs. He loves it so much. And we've talked at one point about like him bringing us to one so that we could all be there together, but I'm kind of nervous. I don't know. I feel like I could enjoy it though, because I love music. I may just need to get like I've seen these like cool noise canceling earbuds for it. I may sample those. I've been recommended a couple as well from friends that are similar in that way, but just know the vibe of clubs from movies. It's kind of the same for me. I just know what I've seen on social media. I've never been there. But it seems really fun. Would vibe in the corner. I think that's cool too. I realize people think that the club is just for dancing and getting drunk, but I think it can probably it's probably a good place for conversation as well, or just chilling, you know, taking in the atmosphere. Yeah, I'd like to go at least once. I'd like to experience everything once. I used to, I talked a little bit about this earlier, but talking about like being scared of trying, or no, loving to try new things, and how I think life is all about experiencing everything the world has to offer to you. I also just I don't know, when I was younger, I used to be very good, very skilled at talking myself out of things. I've always been I say I've always, but I used to be the type to talk myself out of everything. It's like anything I was a little interested in, I had 10 reasons I should not do it and why I'd be better off not even trying. So on top of just wanting to enjoy life, the philosophy I have now is also just like a form of self-improvement that I'm very proud of. So yeah, I'd like to, even if like I anticipate that it would not be a good time, I'd still like to try it and decide for myself after trying it that it's a bad time, you know? Gaslighting yourself? I don't know about that. I think gaslighting is something very different, but it was more like I would just I don't know, it's literally like I say, I would talk myself out of it. I would convince myself that it would be better off if I didn't do it, and I would like be like, nobody wants this to happen. Like if it was with a group, they'd be like, they'd be better off without me there, or like if it's like a project, I'd be like, oh, there'd be somebody else who could do this way better than me. Things like that. I was really good at just thinking of reasons to not do things that I was interested and curious about. So I'm very thankful. Very thankful to have reached a point where I can be brave enough to try new things, because I think there's nothing more brave and vulnerable than being the new person in the room. Thankfully, I've got lots of friends who are willing to support me in these things as well. I saw a lot of that in Japan. Very, very kind, very like
very understated. They picked up on it really fast too. I didn't talk about it at length, but like I feel like they noticed that I would get a little overwhelmed in certain spaces, and then later on, without even mentioning it or acknowledging it, they'd be like, Kaelix, you want to just hang out here for a bit? Things like that. It's really sweet. I love these guys. Very, very considerate.
Yeah, truly goated friends. They are the most epic friends ever.
And I think it's a really good balance that we have as well, where like we support each other in our weaknesses, but we also push each other where it's necessary. Because sometimes you need a push. You need to be encouraged to try new things. Yeah, it can be scary to try new things, but I think we catastrophize things more in our mind than in reality, you know? It's like thinking about things, it's not always accurate. I know that I talked a bunch earlier about how we're nothing but brains and how everything else is just accessory to the brain, but despite that, the brain is not justice. The brain does not know everything. In fact, the brain can be wrong often about everything even. And sometimes the brain can be stubborn about being wrong because the brain doesn't cope well with being wrong. We don't like to think that we're wrong. So it's very easy to believe in absolute sincerity and conviction that something is true when it's not. I think it's all a matter of conditioning though. If you condition your brain over years to think negative things, it will continue to think negatively. But if you start little by little to think of happier things, or if you focus on the positives, or even just focus on realism, you know, just take it exactly as it looks and not assign any connotation at all. The more you do that, the more it will continue subconsciously. That's what I think. Another good one for that, talking about that a little bit, you may have noticed that in addition to my false, indignant, like, oh, you hate me, blah, 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 I'm so dramatic and the world hates me thing, my alternative to that is also to be like, I'm the best. I think Einstein wants what I have. Everybody in this industry should give up because I'm here. That sort of like really grand, self-aggrandizing, like I'm number one talk. That is also a conscious effort that I picked up years ago that I used to have to do on purpose, and now it just falls out. And in general, I do have pretty good self-worth these days. It works. It works. It's a hack. That's another reason I don't like the comment that I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the stream that came out during Among Us. I don't like things like that because I think when you say things like that, it makes the idea more palpable to the subconscious mind. You know what I mean? I think everybody should believe in sincerity that they are number one, that they're king of the universe. Yeah, we're number one. Kaelix on top. Yeah, conditioning. Conditioning, that's a really good word for it. It's like the idea Pavlov, you know Pavlov's conditioning? Pavlovian response. If you ring a bell before serving a dog tasty steak, and you do that for a week, at the end of that week, if you ring the bell but don't give him the steak, he's still gonna drool because he thinks the steak is coming, you know? It's like that. If you focus regularly for a year on the positives, if you think at the end of every day before going to bed, if you write down in a notebook one good thing that happened today, right? Before bed, you go to bed and you're like, all right, this made me smile. This made me laugh. Or even just, this was a pretty okay experience. If you think of whatever made you happiest that day, and you do that for a year, in time, you'll notice these things without even trying to notice them. Yeah. That's something I like to do. Roses and thorns. I find that when I first picked up that habit, I had a lot more thorns. You know, to describe that. Roses and thorns is like good things and bad things. Highlights and then the things you'd rather not think about anymore. When I started, I could only think of the bad things. I'd be like, this one good thing happened, but then there was all this other stuff. But now, even if I have a really difficult day with a ton of bad stuff, I find that like my list is so short. My list is so short. Even if I have other things I could list, it's like it's not even worth it because of the roses. Sorry, I feel like I get I get so emo sometimes. I get so philosophical. I feel like I'm such a whiplash person to speak to, right? I feel like 1 second we're talking about being crushed by machines, and then the next second we're talking about self-worth for some reason. I don't know. I need to be stopped. These are the conversations I most like to have, though, so it's kind of inevitable. There is always a non-zero chance that a conversation with Kaelix Debonair is going to become about something deep or intrinsic to humanity, the human condition. I've got water now. I'm gonna have a sip. Feel free to get hydrated with me, okay? You can follow it. Don't worry about it. Oh, thank you so much. That makes me happy to hear. Okay. Normally, I would want to go a lot longer for a Zatsudan. Especially one that's meant to make up for the fact that I'm in a ton of collabs. But unfortunately, I actually have a collab later. So I'm going to rest my voice a little bit because I feel like the EP is going to have me screaming. So we're actually going to wrap it up here. I'm going to show you the schedule for the rest of the week. Find somebody to redirect to. I'd love to redirect into the video. Maybe we could do a manual redirect, actually. I don't know. Maybe we could do both. How about that? I'll link you to the video and then I'll pick somebody to redirect to. Yeah, I'll walk you through all that stuff in a moment. And then we'll part ways for a while. But I won't be gone forever. I will also show up over on Mr. Zeal's channel in a couple hours. Anyway, let's move over so I can show you my schedule, all right? Oh my goodness, we're back home. Wow. It's kind of crazy seeing that after being outside for so long. You know, like when you like when you go out for a walk and then when you come back inside, everything looks weird for a few minutes. Like everything's kind of dark inside compared to if you were just like if you wake up inside. It's like everything's darker because you came from outside. It's like that. Anyway, let me show you the schedule for the rest of the week. We're nearing the end. Oh my goodness. Okay. Where are you? There you are. All right, so we're nearing the end. Today we had the first stream of the day. There are two that I'm participating in. There's another one in a bit, but we had a Hanami flower viewing Zatsudan chatting stream. Flower viewing chatting stream. Hanami Zatsudan deshita. I had a lot of fun. I hope that you can appreciate the nature around you. Admittedly, where I am, I don't really have sakura anywhere nearby, but we do have another species, or would you call it a species? Yeah, we have another flavor of flowering tree that's in season right now, and it's really, really, really pretty. So I've been really taking that in lately. Every time I take the time to go out for a walk. So if you live anywhere with some nice, even if you don't live anywhere with flowering trees, you should take some time. Have a nice walk. Appreciate the world around you. It's very, very pretty out there. I promise. And then later on today, here in a couple hours, I will appear on Zeal Ginjoka's channel. He's just released his EP, his very first EP. It's got a bunch of cool songs on it. He worked so hard on every single one. Need I remind you, he did it all by himself. Executive producer, composer, lyricist, vocalist, mixer, etc. He did all that. It's all him. He's so crazy. I love this guy. You gotta be there for it. And it's not even just gonna be us. It's gonna be like NIJISANJI EN at large. They're gonna be welcome to join as well. And a lot of people seemed interested, so you might be seeing some familiar faces, hearing some familiar voices. Also worth note, in about an hour, more like 48 minutes ish. In about 40, we'll just call it 40 minutes. There will be a video dropping on the NIJISANJI EN channel. I'm not going to redirect there because I don't think I can yet. I have to ask them for permission. Oopsie, I forgot. But I can link it to you directly if you'd like to watch it. I think it's a pretty fun watch. I'll go ahead and link it now, actually, if you want to bookmark it, put it in your, like, maybe set a reminder. But yeah, that'll go live at the next hour change. So feel free to check that out. Let me pin this as well so it doesn't get lost. Yeah, we worked very hard on the concept and the plan for it, and we had a lot of fun recording it. Speaking of handwriting, I saw there was a lot of discussion we talked a lot about handwriting during the most recent group Zatsu. This may pertain to handwriting in some way. I wonder. So look forward to that. And then sometime after that, at the next hour change after, Zeal's stream will start. will join 30 minutes after that. So at the 30-minute mark. So note, I will actually show up on his Totsu 30 minutes later than the time that's posted on this schedule. All right. Of course, you should be there at the time that's posted anyway, because he's going to be there, and it's so cool. Tomorrow, I will be playing Speak of the Devil with Zeal Ginjoka, Maria Marionette, and Reimu Endo. 2 senpais, 1 wave mate. We will be playing My Time at Sandrock. This is my first time playing it. I'm very uninitiated with the My Time series in general. I know a little about Portia, but not much else. So I'm very, very excited. Me and Maridin senpai talked a lot about farm sims, and this was the first one she recommended. So I'm very excited to see what it's got to offer. Finally, the grand event. The one I'm really looking forward to, at least. This Saturday, the very next day, we will open memberships. Does that get old? Does my air horn get old? I hope it doesn't. Anyway, I'm very, very excited for this. I mentioned that I would open memberships in the morning before, but I should probably clarify that to me, morning just means whenever I wake up. So if I wake up 2 hours before the karaoke stream, then memberships will be open 2 hours before the karaoke stream. If I wake up 7 hours before, then it'll be 7 hours before. Sorry, I can't warn you. I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place. I'm going to try to fix it over the next couple days leading up to it, so I can have some good time before getting the karaoke stream started. But yeah, if you want to get a head start, I guess you're just going to have to watch, because I'm not going to announce it either. I'm not going to announce it, but I'll tell you, it will definitely be open before the karaoke stream starts. So yeah, don't worry about that. There's no there's no like real advantage to being there first, is there? And would you know if you were first? I wonder. Anyway, ooh, you know what? Maybe I could do. Maybe I could open it right as I set up the waiting room, and that way you can know, just so you have that to hold over everybody's head forever. I don't think it's a big deal though. It's kind of fun though, like when people get the first comment. We'll find out. Anyway, it'll be archived. I will sing a list of about 7 songs for you. A mix of genres, just things I think you'd like to hear. I did actually pay close attention to everything everybody said about my very first karaoke stream. I listened to the things that people seem to like the most, so I tried to give some more of that this time. Different songs, of course, but same genres. I hope you can look forward to that. And then, after that, note that the time might be a little different depending on the flow of the karaoke stream, but we will have a party to celebrate it. This is when I will talk about everything. I'll show you emotes. I'll reveal my ego set tag. I'll reveal maybe something else. It should be finished. I think it's finished now, actually. I think I got a notification halfway through that I have to check on. But anyway, may have something else to reveal for you as well. Just talk about my plans for membership, how I'm going to handle it, how I'm going to handle super chat, stuff like that. I'll make up my mind before then and let you know then. So feel free to come celebrate with me. It might not be too long since I have a karaoke stream right before, and it will wear my voice out for sure. There are some really, really tough songs on this set list, but I'd like to at least chat for a little bit. And then, yeah, that'll be the end of the week. I'll try to lock in my next week's schedule tomorrow so that you have some early notice. But if I don't, you know, there will always be a Zelda stream on Sunday, or usually. Yeah, that'll be my schedule for the rest of the week. I hope you've had fun so far, and I hope that you can look forward to monetization. Yippee! I'm so excited.
You don't know how excited I am for this karaoke. I love karaoke. I want to do karaoke every single day. No, that's not gonna happen. It's kind of thought. Okay, I'm gonna rest up a bit before Zeal's Totsu, but I'll see you again later, all right? Oh yeah, I gotta find somebody to properly redirect to. So feel free to go to the video premiere if you'd like to, but I'm gonna find somebody who's streaming. I think Uki Senpai. It was so funny. They'd like Uki Senpai dropped in to talk and then immediately started streaming. So I think Uki Senpai is probably available. Let me see. Where? My thing froze. Okay, give me a second. Anyway, while I pull up the channel, I will walk you through good raid etiquette really quick. Good redirect etiquette, regardless of which platform you're on. There's some unspoken rules that you want to follow. Make sure you're on the same page as everybody else. So here in a moment, we're going to cross over to Uki Senpai's channel. It looks like, is this a collab? Oh, it looks like it's a collab. Ooh, they're playing Unrailed. I love Unrailed. Wait, there's a sequel to Unrailed? There are 2 Unrailed? I've only played the first one. There's a second Unrailed? I need to play it now. What the heck? I love Unrailed.
That's such a fun game. Anyway, looks like Uki Senpai is playing Unrailed 2. It's a collab, so be extra polite, all right? That's like double polite. First thing first, when you get there, you want to scroll down and check the rules in the description. Everybody's got slightly different boundaries, and I find that my chat might be a little different than somebody else's, especially in the case of a very chill streamer like Uki Senpai. So be extra kind, considerate, respectful. Be mindful of the space that you're taking up when you're there, all right? Because otherwise, we're annoying and we're an interruption. I don't want that to happen. We don't want to be like that, all right? So check the rules. In general, just be mindful. Don't talk too much about anything that's unrelated to the stream, including, namely, don't talk about me. Don't go in there talking about me. Don't come in there yapping about Kaelix Debonair. I know I'm awesome. I know. There's so much cool stuff to say about me, but... Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, when you get there, Senpai might be like, "Oh, Kaelix, how was the rest of your stream?" And that's when you say, "It was cool. The end." Just get through it real quick. You know what I mean? Don't go talking about me too much. Just wrap it up and then get into whatever those guys are doing. You know what I mean? That's good etiquette. That's how you be polite. All right. That is all for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you again later this evening. Tonight, maybe later in the day. I don't know what time zone it is for you. I can't keep up with time zones. It's so hard. I've forgotten already. Anyway, thank you so much. See you later. Bye-bye.